Woohoo! Always love fucking with the camera angles. So, what is up? It is motherfucking showtime! Okay, so anyway, I wanted to get started, of course, as a sermon. I do have some notes over here, which I will be referring to, but you know what? The first thing that I want to talk about is this whole concept of those on the journey of a relationship with manifestation, because as you know, I'm not calling them specific persons because fuck them, they ain't that important in your reality to be so specific. You are important to be so specific. So when you are on this journey of this relationship sector and you are coming into it, into the manifestation, and you're perceiving that someone is your twin flame, or there's a karmic relationship, or soulmates, or whatever, where the fuck did that idea come from? Did that idea come from you? Does that idea come from you? I'm going to think no. I'm going to assume no. And you know why I can think and assume no, even if it's your answer, is because the term twin flame, karmic relationship, soulmate are all ideas that are out in the collective. So if you hadn't discovered the term twin flame, would you have ever perceived that this individual was a twin flame? You might have viewed this individual as someone or something significant in your experience, but you would not have viewed them as a twin flame unless that material was already out there for you to consume. And this is the same for any societal construct, such as you have to work for money, right? It's a societal construct. It's out there, and some of you might believe in it, but that doesn't make it true, okay? Just like the whole concept of twin flame or karmic relationship or soulmate, that is going by someone else's definition of whatever the fuck a relationship meant to them. Where did these ideas come from? I don't fucking know. I mean, maybe there's like fantasy story. What do they call mythological stories about a twin flame or a soulmate? And that's where it originated from. Yes, that might be true on paper, but it's still someone else's idea, okay? So you want to stop viewing someone as your twin motherfucking flame, because you are going to just go into that whole dynamic that you have read about. What are the characteristics of a twin flame relationship? What does this mean? Does this mean that someone is my twin flame? Motherfucker, it means whatever the fuck you decide it means, and that's it, okay? No relationship is special or not special. Aside from that, you are taking it personally, and you are assigning it a meaning that it is fucking special. That's it. That is the only thing that is special, okay? So from an egoistic vantage point, yes, your situation might be different from others, right? Because there's still the illusion of separation and judgment. Your situation is not different from anyone else's because there is no situation, because the things that you are building your relationship on a lot of times are fabricated, and those thoughts and ideas did not even come from you to begin with. They came from these belief systems about what a relationship should be. That's it, period. There's nothing else to say because that's what it is. And if you actually sat and thought about it, you likely would see evidence of this as well. I started looking up relationships online. I don't know how the fuck I got there, but there the fuck I was, and I saw all this propaganda, because that's what it is, in my opinion, about relationships. And there's a twin flame, and there's two souls, and they were cut from the same cloth. I mean, who the fuck wrote that? Because, okay, if you want to romanticize a motherfucker, then you know what, you do what the fuck you want. But if you are romanticizing someone and you're putting a label on your relationship, a label that did not even come from you, that is not the God state. That is not the state of manifestation. I mean, it is everything essentially is a state of manifestation, but it's not a manifestation that you would ideally want to be in, because you're manifesting from a perceived power, and you are powering up that perceived thought form that this is a twin flame or a karmic or a soulmate, because it has power over your ego. It's saying, here is the answer. You were looking as to why this did not work out with this motherfucker. Here's the answer. Well, it's a twin flame. This is a separation. There's a runner, there's a chaser. I mean, come on now. Like, what are we fucking doing here? Okay. And it's going to tell you that, and your ego is going to absorb that because it's looking for answers. It's looking to solve the problem. So it's like, oh, twin flame. Yes, it must be that. They're a twin flame motherfucker. And you know what? They're in the runner phase right now, and they're running from me. Bitch, why would anyone run from you? You are the Lord and there is none else, and you supposed to have motherfuckers gravitating towards you because you are the magnet for everything holy that you deem pleasurable. Okay, so that's what it is. So you want to dissect how you are viewing this individual that you are in a relationship with. You want to dissect that and really be like, okay, so I have this perception of them, whatever the fuck it is, but did that perception of them and our dynamic even come from me? Did it come from me trying to figure out what the hell was going wrong in the relationship when nothing was ever really going wrong? Because, I mean, how can anything go wrong if there's no judgment, there's no right, there's no wrong, right? But your ego was looking for answers in the 3D, therefore it came across an answer in the 3D. But that answer did not come from you. It did not come from the conscious awareness that is you. Because the conscious awareness that is you already declared this is a nice experience. And that's why that motherfucker gravitated towards you, because you connected on a level that is intangible. You cannot interpret what that connection is from third dimensional vocabulary lists. You cannot. You are falling into a mind program, just like you got to work hard for money. That's it. And what you believe and accept to be true will play out in your reality. And those thought forms and ideas may have played out for you, because some of you are going to say, well, I researched the definition of a fucking twin flame, and oh, by golly, that sounds like me and whoever. Yeah, it does, right? Because you were in resonance of seeking an answer that fit. So you put out the thought, I want an answer. So the answer came from a third dimensional place because you typed in the search bar in the third dimensional state looking for an answer. So the closest thing in proximity to you, it showed up. And so it does sound like your situation, because that was the immediate gratification that you got. So now the ego is like, yeah, I'm trying to make this fit into, it's like putting together a puzzle. Well, okay, because the ego loves the motherfucking puzzle. It loves some fucking riddles. The ego loves dissecting riddles, and you even use riddles to manifest. You're using everything to manifest it, but that's a whole other chapter, okay? Because the ego wants to solve something in front of it. So if you're saying, okay, this is why that went down with this motherfucker, right? And then you accept it as twin flame, the ego is now automatically trying to put together the pieces. Okay, yeah, so here was the runner part, here was the chaser part, this is what happened, right? Because that's the job of the ego. So you're giving it input, and the ego is satiated. I don't know how to fucking pronounce nothing. It's all good though. It's all good. I don't give a fuck. It was understood. So the ego is looking to kind of placate itself in essence of, okay, yeah, this makes sense. So let me put more pieces together. And then, okay, so they're running away right now. So now what does this mean? Dark night of the soul. Come on. Another fucking limiting belief. Another limiting belief. And yes, you might have had circumstances show up in 3D, and then you don't know what to make of it, so you're searching for answers from that egoistic perspective, because you're searching for answers from the outside because you made a Google input. Okay, you're searching for answers from the outside, and the answer, if searched for from the outside in the 3D, can only be presented to you in a third dimensional capacity. Because you're just not aware at that point that there is anything other than 3D. So when you put in a type of search in Google, then that thing comes up, right? Because that's what you were expecting. You were expecting an answer. So you type in, why did this happen? Why did that happen? And then, whatever. And then Dark Night of the Soul comes up. So your ego is like, boom, that's it. Yeah, we found the answer, motherfucker. And that's not the answer. That's someone else's definition, okay, of things that happen. That's someone else's definition. It did not come from you. You might find resonance with it, but I can assure you, your fucking God self, consciousness, awareness is not even thinking something is a twin flame or a dark night of the soul, because it does not think. It does not think. It doesn't have a vocabulary. So it's not labeling anything. You're forming an assumption because the only way you can compute energy is through a thought. But that's not coming from the God self. The God self is above and beyond all that. That's what it is. Okay? So, if you want to really implement changes in your experience, I suggest not going by societal definitions for anything. Not in a relationship, not what you should want in a partner, not what anyone else should want in a partner. What do you want? And this is where so many motherfuckers are tripped up, because they're so bombarded by input from the outside. You should have this by this age. Well, who says you even want that? And who says age is a thing? Because time doesn't exist. You don't need to do jack shit if you don't want to. What resonates with you? And this is why so many motherfuckers are manifesting shit that they don't much care for, because they trusted the outside. Oh, thank you. Oh, I love that. Holla. They trusted the outside from a third dimensional perspective, when from the awareness of all that is, there is no answer outside, because there is no fucking outside. It's all within you. It's all just one thing. This is why they say, be still and know that I am God. Because in the stillness, that's it. The ego is like, the judgment, the fucking comparison. Well, comparison would be judgment, but you know what I'm saying. We can be repetitive. Repetition. I love it when I stumble over my words, because I'm fucking lit as fuck and I don't do no hooked on phonics. And this is all good, because you know what I'm saying, because the message is getting conveyed in a way that is beyond words or space or time. And if you know, you motherfucking know. That's it, you know. So you know what I'm saying without me even having to articulate it. You already know, because if you didn't know, you wouldn't even be looking at my content. But you know there's something more than what is visibly in front of you that your two fucking physical eyes see. You know that, and that is why you came into manifestation. Maybe you came into manifestation, spirituality, all these things because you were searching for answers, but something still guided you, and maybe you didn't know what it was you were looking for, and you were meant to stumble across this information. Because let me tell you, if you weren't meant to accept this as a truth for you, you might have still, from a third dimensional level, stumbled across this information, but you would just be like, oh, that's a bunch of bullshit. These motherfuckers are saying that I create with my fucking mind. Oh, that's bullshit. There must be something else, right? And then because they're still creating the reality, they find something else that's a logical explanation. Oh. That's what's happening. So you are not going to find the accurate answer from anywhere out there. And this is why, once you start understanding that the real truth is your awareness on things, that is lifting you above the fucking 3D plane and the thought matrix and the emotion matrix. It's all like, you're seeing above it, and you're just like, all is calm, all is well, motherfucker. I am the Lord and there is none else. And because you have so embodied that state, your ego is on board with that state. So the ego just, it's tamed. It's not shut off completely, because you're still going to have like the gift of being able to judge if this is hot or this is cold. So you fucking have a shower that's pleasurable to your physical vessel sensations, right? There's still going to be judgment. Okay, there's still going to be comparison. Do you prefer apples or do you prefer pears? I prefer chocolate. It's okay. It's okay. Do you see what I'm saying? So motherfuckers talk about ego death, yet in the moment it could seem like you're expanding your awareness beyond the thing. You've resurrected beyond the ego limitations in that particular area or in that particular moment, but the ego is just still going to be there because that's part of the parameters of the game. So what happens when you are functioning from your pure awareness, the ego, it's like sleeping. You like put the ego on a timeout, like, okay, pause, reflect, be still, know that I am the Lord and there is none else, motherfucker. Okay, so this is what you have to be aware of. When you are searching for answers on the outside, that answer number one can be found within you. If you were to just be still, and this is what they talk about, one of my all-time favorite fucking books, Ramtha, the White Book. When you declare something is known, the knowing just comes to you. That's it. You don't need to do anything. This is why in manifestation you don't need to do anything. Because there's nothing to do. Because if everything is all at once and everything has already happened, because all timelines are simultaneously occurring, what is there to do? The thing already happened. You just kind of stroll and meander around the third dimensional matrix. And you're just like, okay, everything is good. Everything always aligns perfectly for me. I'm the Lord and there is none else. And that's what it is. Like, you're just so in that state. You're in the moment. This is what I talked about in my, the other most recent live that I did. You're so in the moment that you're not even aware that the desire even exists or that you are desiring it because you're just in the moment. Or what they call the flow state. But still, if we want to like look at what I jumped in here and fucking started saying, the flow state, what is that? It's not, I mean, is that a flow state or is that someone else's definition of what a flow state is? But it's really just you being in the now moment. You could label it whatever the fuck you want. If you are in the now moment and you're just saying, you know what, I already know the answer to this. I know this person's role in my life. I know it. That's it. Knowing is the ultimate. You can't fuck with knowing. Someone tried to tell me I ain't on my phone talking on the TikTok live. I'll be like, bitch, what? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, and when you can come to that level of knowing without 3D proof, that is the God state. That is the God state, and you're so in that state of alignment that you do not care if you see the thing in 3D. When you see when you see the thing in 3D, okay? That's it. You don't give a fuck because you know it. And this is where, when I've even had conversations with individuals about this concept, is like, when you just know something, that is, I mean, it's already done. And it's done with such a force. That is the strongest energy, okay? You decide what it is that you want. You know it's done, boom. Case closed. Whenever it shows up, it doesn't matter. You don't care. Because why would you care about something that you know? Knowing cannot be taken from you because it's already pure alignment. It's like, well, this is what it is. Knowing is isness. I think they talk about that in Ramtha, the White Book. They talk about like isness, like things just are. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just, this is what it is. So however your 3D looks, it just is. And the God state, all that is, the awareness consciousness that's piloting the vessel, that's giving life to the vessel, knows that. So it's not concerned with earthly pursuits. So when you stop putting a label on something, whether it's a relationship or how to have a luxurious lifestyle or whatever the fuck it even is, you don't put a label on it just because society says so. That's part of like the game. Okay, yeah, there's ideas out there. Okay, cool. Do I want to be swept into this, whatever the fuck that is, right? This wave of energy. If yes, okay, I'm going to proceed believing that. But if this don't resonate with me, I'm not going to fucking go down that path, okay? But how you come to the knowing of what you want is really think about what brings you the most peace. Because that's the God state. It's peace and calm. It's not excitement. It's peace and calm because things just are. There's no excitement. It's just, this is peaceful. That's it. So think about the different sectors of your experience, your relationship. What right now is going to make you process as peace and alignment? And again, this is not an emotion where, oh, boo-hoo, oh, hee. No, it's none of that. It's like the feeling state. What is going to bring you to the place of calm and neutrality right now when you think about your relationships, when you think about that person, when you think about your bank balance, when you think about health and career, all of the sectors. Write this shit fucking down if you have to. You don't have to, but I'm just saying. It can be beneficial for some of y'all. You take inventory. What's going on in my mind? Okay, so here's what I currently believe about this situation. Boom. The immediate thing that comes to you, that's what you're most in resonance with. Okay, if it feels like weird in your fucking vessel, you don't like the way that it's calibrating because it's not calibrated to your business. It's like trying to jumble you up, right? You're going to say, okay, this is what's going on in my relationship. That made me feel a certain type of way. What's going to bring me the most calm? And the immediate thing that comes to you, you write that down too. And then you focus on that. And then you go through your fucking money sector. So you think about your finances. What was the immediate thing that came up? Okay. Well, I see that's where I'm at. And this is why this is a good exercise for the ego, because ego likes point A to point B shit, looking at logistics. Okay, well, this is what I'm processing is right now. Okay, so I'm most in alignment with that because that was the first thing that came to mind without a question. And then what's going to make me process as a more calm feeling in my vessel right now when I think about my finances? The first thing that comes to mind, boom, you write that down. And you do this for all the fucking sectors of your experience. And the thing that brings you the most calm that you wrote down for all of them, you center an affirmation around that, or you center a visual around that, or maybe both. Or you simply just declare, now I am married, now I am wealthy, now I am healthy. Whatever the fuck it is that brought you the most calm. It's to be different for everyone. You start with that. And that's how you know yourself. That's what's going on in your immediate atmospheric vicinity, okay? So you realize that. Now, beyond all that, in that place of calm, for all the sectors, that's your isness, that's your God self. And it's calm, so it's not judging anything because there's nothing to judge because everything is, so it's just chilling. And when you are in alignment with calm in all sectors of your experience, and that's your dominant state, you're going to start to see that you're not even operating based off of thoughts or emotions really in the 3D. You're going to see that the way that you operate in the 3D is just going to be, you're going to be moved. You're gonna be fucking moved. It's like someone put like a fist in your ass if you a fucking ventriloquist dummy, and it's like, whew. But that fist in your ass is the God source. It's all that is. So you're okay with that fist in your ass because it's compelling your vessel into momentum in the 3D. That's, whew, it's effortless and it flows and it just freestyles and it's like, whoa. So it's okay, that metaphorical fist in the ass, because the God fist don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? The God fist is just like, here you go, here's some momentum, here's some power. That's what it's doing. It's what they want to call the flow state. But I just call it, being carried by the waves. Remember, because everything is waves of energy, but now you're like surfing the waves with that fist in your ass from the God self. And it's just like, okay, woo, 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 because the God self is already perfect alignment. So it can help to steer you to like calibrate in the 3D. And this is why things work perfect. You don't even have to think about it because you're not even going to realize that you're getting steered. Your ego self is not even going to be in that awareness because it's just like, it's moving in the moment. And when you move in the moment and you keep your mind present on what you are doing, things just fucking flow. Because it's waves. That's why they call it flow state too, in my opinion, because it's fucking flowing. It's waves. They flow, right? They don't stay stagnant. Even when you think that you're stagnant, you know what I mean? You're still flowing because your consciousness is never stagnant. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. It's still flowing. But you, from your ego perspective, have the limited scope of saying, no, but I'm stuck. No, but I'm stuck. So you're still getting like piloted, right? But now it's like you're refusing from the ego perspective to be like, well, no, things are not moving. Things are not moving. Things are not moving. So you're still being piloted into more experiences of things not moving, but you're still moving. have no idea what's going on in the chat. I've been sermoning for quite some time, so welcome everyone. Thank you for joining the show. I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. But we got, oh, the name of this, in case anyone's wondering, it just came to me, Buddha Juice. And I got this, if any of you have ever seen that movie, we're having a brief intermission before I go to my next topic, and we're gonna take some Buddha Juice, because this is the inspiration behind it. It's Buddha Juice. It's my special blend of a few things that mix and taste really well together. So it don't matter what the fuck I call it Buddha Juice. So I got this from the movie 13, if any of you have seen that. I forget even the people who are in it, but like if you Google the movie 13 and it's about like these two girls and they're 13 in the movie, then they're having all of these like experiences that like are wild. And I think in one of the scenes, she's like, she takes like a drink from this random guy. I don't know if he's random. I don't know, some dude she knew. And she's like, well, what is that? And he's like, Buddha Juice. At least I think that's what he said. And then somehow my subconscious stored that information, because it fucking stores everything, because that's its fucking job. And then when I was mixing my brew, it was like Buddha Juice. And I was like, okay, we gonna go with that, with the fucking chat, because who cares? Nothing has meaning. So I like Buddha Juice, and I like chatting on here, so I said, let's go. Yeah, that's a good fucking movie. It is. I enjoy all types of movies. I mean, that's not a horror movie. My preference, the ego's preference is horror, but that was a good one too. That was kind of psychological, so that's why I liked it. Horror and psychological, oh, fuck yeah. Oh, what a wonderful intermission. Okay, let's go to the next topic then, which kind of piggybacks off of what I was saying. Okay, so my next topic, how I was saying, when you're in the, you're in the flow state and you're just kind of chilling and, you're just being led by God or whatever, you're just being moved, like nothing is really happening, you're just kind of with it. That's when you are true to yourself, because your true nature is flow and ease and movement, right? So how many individuals have, or know someone who has, did something or not done something because of a societal program or an expectation that was put upon them by someone else? I'll let you think about that, okay? And this is what I fucking channeled, okay? And this has to do with that. When you are doing something to placate societal's expectation of you, if you are doing something to placate someone else's, maybe in your personal vicinity, to placate their expectations of you, okay, you're not doing something for yourself, you're doing something for the outside. And you need to know, okay, because the fear of why you're doing something from the outside is because you have a perception that other well, number one, you might have whatever belief that is, you definitely agree to that, right? Such as like let's go with one, okay? Societal's expectation. You have to work hard for money, okay? So you might have this thought, an idea in your mind, well, I need to work hard because that's what's expected of me, right? But you really, on the inside, you're like, I don't really want to work hard. Like, what is work? I just want to be in the flow state with the God self fist in my ass, right? You just want to be like kind of chilling and flowing, right? But you go against everything that you want. So let's say you want to be an artist, right? And you don't care about, it's like just something you enjoy, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and you know what, money is just flowing to me because I'm doing what I love, I'm an artist, okay, whatever. Or if you're just saying, I'm just lounging in bed all day, money is coming to me and I'm lounging in bed, it doesn't even fucking matter. If you're, whatever the fuck you're doing, okay? So with the example that I gave, just to make it like brought down to earth in lyrical format. So someone wants to be an artist, but there's a societal expectation. You have to work hard for money. You have to go to college. You have to get a good job. Then you have to get a degree. Then you have to, I don't know, work, whatever, doing a corporate job that you don't much care for, okay? You never agreed with that. Because you knew yourself. You're like, no, I want to be an artist. And you're like, that's my dream. That's what I feel like I'm in the flow state every time I'm whatever it is. Art can be many different things, okay? I feel like I'm in the flow state when I'm doing this. I don't want a job. But then you succumb to the societal pressure and you get a corporate job that you fucking hate. That is not being true to yourself. That is not being in the God state. That's being in the state of the ego, which is coming from fear. And the fear came from, well, what if this doesn't work out? It's programmed that people in corporate earn more and the odds of being a successful artist or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You're looking at statistics, you're looking at expectations, and even in some cases, you can be looking about caregivers when you were a child saying, oh yeah, you know, like you should work in corporate and it's so much fun, you need to get a good job. And what do you mean you want to be an artist? Like, no one's an artist. Like you're going to do corporate, okay? And then, so there can be the expectation of society. There can be the expectation of like loved ones judging you if you don't, you know, agree to what they think is acceptable. But remember, you still have to agree to the story about all of these things. So if you want to be an artist and you take that corporate job to please societal expectations or to please caregivers around you or whoever, right? You are miserable in that corporate job. Why? Because you're not in the God state. And that is another way to know that you are not in the God state. You're miserable. You bent. Who the fuck you already know that you are to appease the outside when the outside doesn't matter. And you could be like, oh, but you know, you care about what your parents or your siblings or whatever think. Me-moi, peepaw. You care. You want them to be happy. You want them to be proud of you maybe, which you don't really need that either. But even if we want to go on that from like a logical level, but you are bending yourself to calibrate to what someone else wants. You're basically bending over to the 3D, even though it's a person that you care about. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I'm going to say it like I said in the fucking beginning. Did that idea come from you? It didn't come from you. You knew that you want to be an artist, but the idea from elsewhere swayed you. And it tainted your perception to the point where you're bending over and you're allowing the outside to dictate, and that's why you are miserable. And that's just one example. There could be many examples, like in the relationship or in health-wise or whatever. There's still something, if you are doing something that you know you don't want to do, but you're doing it because of something that you perceive as on the outside, whether it's a person, a societal construct, whatever, you are not going to like that because it goes against who you are. You are not a corporate motherfucker. Unless you are and you genuinely enjoy having a corporate job, then hey, go right ahead. You know what I mean? But I'm saying if you do something to make the outside happy or to bend to the outside or to bend to what other people think of you or their expectations of you, even though you love and care for them and you know they love and care for you, you compromised yourself for something that was not even real. It can seem very real to the ego, right? Especially the societal programs. It can seem very real when you have me-moi, peepaw saying, when are you going to get a real job and stop doing the art thing? Whatever, okay? Yeah, it can seem real, but it's still an illusion that you, because it's still neutral, but you're labeling it as bad. You're labeling it as whatever it is. So that's taking you out of something. It's taking you out of who you are because you're placing a label on it when there is nothing to be labeled, right? It's just your awareness on whatever the fuck is going on. So your awareness is above and beyond all that. So you're like, okay, me-moi, people are saying this, society is saying that, but you know what? And here's where the change comes. I know I am an artist. That's it. It's in alignment. I feel natural when I'm doing this. I feel good when I'm doing this. I just flow when I'm doing this. This is who I am. And you know what? Society, it doesn't fucking matter because I'm not society and I don't care what anyone thinks. I only know what's true for me. And the more I know what's true for me and act upon it, I inspire other motherfuckers to also do the same and live a happy life instead of one with misery. And I know that even though me-moi and peepaw are thinking that I should go into corporate, but I don't want to do corporate, I know me-moi and peepaw love me and respect me and value me so much that they accept all of my decisions, even if they do not agree with it. That knowing you are loved, respected, valued, accepted for exactly who you are, not for who you are pretending to be to serve someone else. That shit was lit. I mean, it was fucking lit. I'm just saying. So when you come to that understanding where you're like, this is already working out better than I expect because I fucking said so and I'm the Lord and there is none else. No one can take that from you. And you know that who you are is going to be reflected outward. So even if Mima and Peepaw came at you and said, oh, you better get a corporate job, whatever. And you're like, nah, I don't think I'm going to do that. And they love me, accept me no matter what. So I'm going to do my art and they're going to be cool with it. The next day you might hear from them. They're like, oh my God, you know what? Like, I actually just saw this artist interview and they were saying how happy it made them and it made me think of you. You don't know what circumstances would play out on their end for them to be on board with your new thoughts about them, loving and accepting and respecting you exactly as you are. But because you already said no, they accept it. However they come to their own acceptance, whatever experience they're having in their mind, that's on them. But they're still going to reflect that back to you. But you have to know it. You have to know that you can never upset anyone because you are not disturbed on the inside. So when you are not disturbed, there's going to be nothing outside just to disturb you. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you're not carrying anything with you. You're just like, this is who I am. I'm an artist. Everyone loves me. I take in over $5 million a year just by whatever. That's it. And what's going to happen? That knowingness conviction is collapsing the timeline. You're getting what you want. And you're also knowing that what you want other people that you care about accept and want for you too, because you are the Lord and there is none else. So of course they're going to be happy for you. That's it. So you don't need to think about what is this person thinking of me? Are they going to accept me if I say this or if I do that? Like, you cannot question if someone is going to love you or accept you or respect you. You cannot question that. Why? Because you are the Lord and there is none else. So if you are questioning, you're going to get dubious outcomes in the 3D. Not because the 3D is showing you anything, but because you're in doubt. So you're going to get a whole bunch of weird shit in the 3D. So you have to decide. Whoever this individual is, no matter what area of your life they are in, they just love and accept and respect you either way. So they don't care what you do. So you don't need to bend over to make anyone else happy. You make yourself happy first, knowing that everything always works out for you and you don't need to agree to societal norms and everyone loves and respects you and accepts you anyway. You make yourself happy first and the outside, everyone is happy for you. Meanwhile, people come running up and say, oh my God, I'm so proud. This is whoever. Okay? And then you're like, yeah, that's true. You're not going to have to question things after a certain point of implementing these practices. Ooh, I love it when it makes that cray-cray noise. So, let's do another intermission here. That was another one. But just to cap off... you do not need to bend yourself to society, because if you do that, or even to someone else's opinion, even if you love them, even if they love you, you're not going to be happy, because you are going to sense the misalignment with who you really are. And it's not going to serve you, and it's not going to serve anyone else that you care about either if you're miserable. And then you just start to blame them. Oh, but if Meemaw and Peepaw had supported my art, but you never chose to have Meemaw, Peepaw support your art. You chose for them to not want you to be an artist. But you still chose that. And you can choose again in every fucking moment. That's the great shit about the now moment. Okay, yeah, maybe you bent over for society for a little bit, but you know what? You didn't really much care for that feeling. So you said, you know what? I changed my mind. This is it. It's done now. Boom. You could do that at any moment if you so desire. If you are in a place where you feel like you compromise your standards to appease a societal construct or to, appease someone else. No. The outside appeases you. The outside gives you what you want. Period. So, be sure what you want. Let me take a little intermission. And then we'll go to the next topic, which I don't even know what that is. I have some, I think I have a fucking screenshot. There are several topics I wanted to address. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I think we'll do that next. Let me actually leave this open. That would be the next topic. Then I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. I never know what's gonna happen on these lives aside from we drinking Buddha juice. Anyone else got Buddha juice up in the chat? I don't know, probably not because mine is super fucking specific, but you don't want any other job as well, but art is your job too. I mean, you get to decide what you want to do. That's it. You just put a butt in there. So take the butt out. Which one of those do you prefer? Which one feels the most calm and natural? That's what I would go with. I do love tea. I like hot tea. I like iced tea. I like hot tea with like whiskey in it. It's so fucking lit. It's like so good. I love coffee with amaretto in it. It's so fucking good. I heard there were some things where people were, like there's recipes where you can actually get sort of like a psychedelic experience from just sipping tea, like regular teas. And I'm like, oh, but I haven't tried that concoction yet, but it does sound lit as fuck. Like you just mix together the like specific like types of teas and it's supposed to make you like loopy. And I'm like, oh, okay. Spearmint or chamomile. Chamomile is it's okay. I can tolerate it. Spearmint, I don't know. It did not jive with me. I tried it. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm really feeling this. My favorite tea, I mean, I really like green tea. I like Earl Grey tea. But my favorite is ginger tea. Pure ginger tea. No honey, no turmeric, whatever the fuck that shit is called. Pure ginger tea. 2 tea bags. It don't need lemon. It don't need anything. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. For me. I love it. I love ginger. Everything about it. Green tea has a lot of benefits. Yeah, I heard that too. I mean, I like the taste of it. I first got into green tea like when I first discovered sushi and they just started serving it with like a free like green tea. It was just like complimentary, kind of like an appetizer, and I was like, oh, this shit is kind of lit. I like it. But I don't drink anything that I label as good or bad for me. I just assume that everything is good for me. So if I'm down in fucking shots of, I don't even know, I would say tequila, but I don't particularly fancy tequila. But if I'm taking shots of Fireball, this is good for me, this is good for me, this is good for me, because it's my perception. So any like foods or drinks that they say have health benefits, I'm like, okay. But like, just assume everything is good for you. No matter what you're doing, this is good for me. That's it. Because then everything will be good for you. So let's see what my next topic was here. Has a lovely intermission. Okay, so my next note is actually, I mean, it's me, so no one should be shocked, but it says, are your thoughts and emotions having an orgy with you? Are they all taking a turn and you feel helpless? Like, this is how I talk about manifestation. I'm like, an orgy with thoughts and emotions are all having their way with you, and you're just like, whoa, look what's happening. Is that happening in anyone's mind? Because I might just have the solution for you, okay? If a thought, right, because, okay, I will say this because creation is already finished. Thoughts and emotions, you know, they're just tools in the third dimension, whatever, right? And then you know that the thing is done, but then you have these opposing thoughts, these opposing emotions, and you're like, okay, what the fuck, right? They're really not doing anything other than kind of like distracting your awareness onto that thought or an emotion, right? Because it's you have the God spotlight looking at different things that cross your path. So if you give it attention and you're not in the now moment, then they could, you know, have an orgy with you, because it's like this negative thought rolled up, you gave it some attention, so it brought its friend along and say, yo, look, this motherfucker right here, they ready to go. So then that second thought came, and then now you got like an emotion building up. So that emotion saw the party and said, oh shit, like let me amplify this, yo, I'm gonna turn the bass down low for this motherfucker, let's get it on. You know what I'm saying? And then another thought comes because the emotions are fucking amplified, and there's just a fucking rave, an orgy-tastic fucking rave going on in your mind, and it feels like shit because you entertain the negative thought. So that's when you can start to feel helpless. You feel lost in your mind or your emotions, right? But that is not the God state, like I said in the beginning, okay? The God state is calm, and there's really no thought or an emotion. It's just kind of like an awareness of what's happening in your 3D. You're just like, okay, yeah, I'm in the live chat right now. There's no thought or emotion to it. It's just I'm in the moment. That's it. Okay? So when you are having these spirals, right? The thing that you need to fucking say is just like even think of the analogy I said in an orgy with thoughts and emotions. I mean, that shit is gonna lighten the mood for sure, because I mean, where did that even come from? You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, there's an orgy going on. Okay, let me take a time out here. Let me just step away. Let me take a cold shower, get away from this fucking orgy. You know what I mean? So you step away and you're like, okay, these thoughts and emotions are not are tools. They are not who I am. And then you go in, I say deep breathe, relax, and you keep doing this. And I don't think a lot of you understand the importance of doing this every time you're spiraling. You don't just do it once and then, okay, the next time you spiraled, you let it go. That is not how true change is implemented, and you think of it as only an orgy of thoughts and emotions which are not real. They are intangible. They pose you no harm, because there could be a negative thought but you associate it with positivity, right? Some individuals associate Halloween with negativity and others associate it with positivity. It's the same thing, but it's your perception of it. So you are not going to say that things are positive or negative. You're just going to say, okay, this is neutral. Moving on, moving on, moving on. And you take your deep breath and you say, this thought, this emotion, I understand they want an orgy, but you know what? I'm too tired for this shit right now. And you breathe through it. That is the fastest way that you can really get your manifestation, if you learn how to control your physical, visceral sensations with these thoughts and emotions. And how you do that is you deep breathe. So you're not spiraling. And then you might notice, okay, you still spiraled, but this time you only spiraled for like 30 minutes, when before it would have been 50 minutes, okay? And you keep doing it every time something happens. And what that is doing, and I know that you're going to think that this has nothing to do with your manifestation, but it does, because remember, creation is finished. But if you are having your awareness centered on this fucking orgy, letting thoughts and emotions have their way with you, then your awareness is like, okay, well, I'm gonna look here, I'm gonna look there, I'm gonna look, whoa, you know, and you're not being in the moment because you're looking at things that are intangible. So when your present awareness is just like, I am who I am, this is what it is, I'm doing this right now, that's it. There's not even a thought to it, because you're not thinking about what's going on in the moment, because you're in it with your entire isness. So when you learn how to calm yourself down, like you feel yourself, oh, knee-jerk reaction, as they fucking call it, but it could be really anything. It could be hand-jerk reaction. I mean, it sounds a lot better, doesn't it? So before you have that like visceral thing, or right after you have that visceral thing, you feel it start to rise up, you breathe through it. Oh no, not today, motherfucker. We're not doing the orgy right now. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. This is the old story, because that's what it is. It's coming from a story that's no longer serving you. This is a story that doesn't serve me. I'm going to let it out. I'm gonna breathe through it. It doesn't matter what the fuck I'm feeling. It doesn't even really matter what the fuck I'm thinking, but I'm sure as shit not going to align a negative thought and a negative emotion together so the orgy can get larger and more potent and powerful. I'm gonna be in my isness. I am safe. I'm safe in my mind. I'm safe in my body. All is well. Everything is perfect. Let me breathe. It's so simple. You don't gotta do, my thoughts don't matter. Like, I don't, listen, if EFT tapping works for you, that's wonderful, but I don't know, cause I seen some videos, bro. I wasn't even looking for them shits, and they had the EFT tapping, and it's like, tap with me for money, and they're like patting their head. I don't know, dude. I was like, I can't take this shit seriously. Like I cannot. I don't know. Maybe it's just, of course it's my perception, but like, oh, bring me the money. Like, my dude, what are we doing right now? You start panicking in public, right? Feel like the spiral coming on. You gonna do this? I mean, and again, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks of you, but it just might be a better option for you to just say, oh, what are you saying? Rather than, oh my God, I gotta manifest this away. Like, no, man. I mean, come on now, okay? All you need to do is breathe through it. Motherfuckers try to, make it complicated. And yes, if it really works for you, then okay, by all means do that. But you don't need to. And that's why a lot of things in the manifestation community are just, it's people can get overwhelmed, especially when they're first stepping into it, because there's too much. There's too much out there. So if you're like, oh, well, I got an EFT tap, I gotta tap my titties or some shit, like, no. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do anything. Just decide it's done. Okay, boom, be in the moment, and that's it. But all of these techniques and all this shit exists. Affirmations, blah, blah, blah. It's there to keep you more in alignment with the thing. But really, the most true alignment, oh shit. The most true alignment is when you say, I'm the Lord and there is none else. I declare this is done. It is done. Now perfectly, beautifully, better than I expected. If you don't even need to think about it again, homie, I tell you don't need to think about it again. You just make the declaration once, boom. You don't get in the way by turning your attention elsewhere. That shit'll come, so just be in the moment. And you don't need to say a million affirmations if you don't want to. You just have the expectation that it's already done because you sent the fucking work order in, right? For the producers, which are all aspects of you, but I mentioned that more in detail in another video. You put the order in, okay? And then it's like, if a contradictory thought comes up and a contradictory emotion comes up and you feel like you start to spiral, you don't even need to affirm for the fucking thing that you declared was done because it's already done. You just say, oh, I'm not these thoughts, I'm not these emotions. I'm the operant power, all is well, everything is perfect. Better than I expect. I'm just gonna like sit and breathe through it. Okay, this is interesting, yeah. Orgy time up there. Okay, and you just kind of let it do its thing. you videotape it, man. I don't know, you videotape it in your fucking minds. Okay, you just like, okay. Cool, that was an interesting orgy. Psh, delete video. That's it. It's done. It's over. Goodbye. And you just cast it away. And then you don't need to think about the desire again, right? All you need to do is calm yourself down in the moment when the opposition showed up. That's like motherfuckers in battle, right? Like, you ever see these old school, like in that fucking movie? What was that movie? Why was I going to say Thor? Oh my God, Troy. Yeah, Thor, Troy. They kind of have the TRO thing going on. Do they? Yes, they do. TRO. Oh snap. Okay, so anyway, you ever see that where they're like rolling up and like they're ready for battle, right? It's like, because the battle is going on, right? It's like the two are coming up together, so it's like, all right, now is the time to implement this. But if the other side is sleeping, they're not going to battle because they're like, well, we know they're sleeping, so why are we going to enforce whatever the fuck? That's why motherfuckers say you need to always calibrate your nervous system and you need to do EFT tapping. You do not. You do fucking not. You don't need to do anything when nothing is happening. And that's where some motherfuckers get confused too. They're like wondering if they should do like EFT tapping routine. if you're feeling fine, why the fuck would you do that? That's like the motherfucker's going into battle, but the other side is fucking sleeping. Like, why? That's a waste of fucking energy. And you're just there because you think you have to do more, and that's coming from the ego. It's not coming from your God state. So how you remain in the God state is you just have the awareness. Okay, the thoughts and the emotions are having an orgy. Okay, cool. No problem. It's not real. All is well. Everything is perfect. I'm the Lord and there is none else. I'm going to breathe through it. It doesn't matter if it feels uncomfortable. It doesn't matter. It might be a little uncomfortable, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel like those fucking thoughts in that spiral made me feel. It feels a little uncomfortable, like, whoa, I'm doing something different. But it processes as a better feeling sensation in your vessel than you spiraling. Then you're like, whoa, who even is this? Like, I was actually able to calm myself down when they came up, not just you're battling for no reason. Declare, decide, it is done, it is written. I'm the Lord and there is none else. You're going about your day. Oh, an opposing thought came up. All right, whatever. Another opposing thought came up. Oh, shit. Another opposing thought. And then now it starts to make an emotion. And then those are the times where you're just like, no, you calm yourself down in the moment. You don't need to even think about your desire. You just calm yourself in the moment. If it happens again, you calm yourself in the moment. And then what's going to happen? You keep defeating it. You keep defeating it. Or really your thought and interpretation of the thoughts and emotions, because the thoughts and emotions don't mean shit unless you assign them meaning. But you're assigning them a negative meaning, so you have to defeat that in your own mind, bring everything back to true neutral, which is the ultimate, which is a God state, and then all is well and everything is perfect. But you do it in the moment that it comes up. It's a waste of fucking, energy to be like going to battle for no reason. I'm an Aries. We warriors. I know about this shit. Oh, yes, astrology is a belief system, but I believe in it and it serves me well. Oh, here's a wonderful puzzle piece when I said I'm an Aries. Someone on this end likes that, huh? Yeah, that's the puzzle piece for your motherfucking ass, you AI TikTok bot. It's all good though. Woo. Hey girl, what is up, Le Toxique? Here to fall asleep to my live? Well, I intend, and I know that you're going to have a wonderful evening with pleasant, beautiful dreams. So have a good night. And, wait, what was the question before that? Hold on. What could you say to calm yourself? Celine, I don't know if you just jumped in the chat, but typically, what I just said too, I would just go with, for me, my power up anthem is I am the Lord and there is none else. All is well, everything is perfect. But you can say whatever you want. If you're really like spiraling, I recommend you say I am safe. I'm safe in my mind. I'm safe in my body. All is well, everything is perfect. You just want to, that's what you would say. If you're really spiraling, you go with the safety. If you're just kind of like, well, I feel like it might come, you just say, I'm Lord and there isn't else. But the breathing is really the important part of it. Okay, you want to breathe. You want to make sure that you feel that breath coming from like the super lower basement region of your vessel, like, and just let that exhale out your mouth like you took a nice hit of, you know what I'm saying? You just want to and you could even imagine like you just hit a bong and you're like, okay, woo, look at all this. That's the old story leaving with my breath. Well, fucking wonderful. But it's whatever interpretation you want to do it. But breathing, I am safe. I'm the Lord and there is none else. All is well. Everything is perfect. So, what do you do when nothing shows up in the 3D? You don't tell yourself that nothing is showing up in the 3D, because now you're declaring it as such. And you are the Lord and there is none else. So you're just going to say, I'm always seeing everything in the 3D to show me I have what I want, because it's already done. Why wouldn't it show up in the 3D? It's already here. You're not going to go with the story that there's no movement, because there's always movement, because your consciousness is in constant awareness. It doesn't shut off. So the only one that can say there's no movement Like I said, I mean, this is going to go on YouTube, but I did mention earlier about the fucking ventriloquist dummy, and then the Lord's fist in thy ass. And then I just said that, you know, you're going to be moving through things, okay, regardless, because that energy is always flowing, it's constant, but it's going to appear like there's no movement because it's moving you into what you're perceiving as no movement. So you're going to go now, moment, no movement, next now moment, no movement, next now moment, no movement, but you still are moving through those perceptions of non-movement, if that makes sense. What am I doing here? How do you feel about narcissists? In my opinion, Millie, narcissist is a psychological term that is overused. And although I do find that, yes, there can be like a clinical definition of someone who is exhibiting those characteristics, it's ultimately still overused, and people don't understand even the clinical definition. They're just running with it because they've heard it all over the place, okay? Because it's another popular one, like I said in the beginning with the twin flame, the narcissist empath dynamic. No, motherfucker, that's another belief system. Did that idea come from you? Did the idea of a narcissist come from you? Any one of you? I mean, no, for real, because you have to think for yourself. Okay, well, this is labeled as a narcissist. I'm seeing this as a clinical definition, and I'm also seeing what other people are saying about narcissist. But you still have to accept that as true, right? Or else it can't be true. So I don't believe, I mean, you can say, sure, but on paper, this person is exhibiting, characteristics of narcissism. Sure, you can say that, but it's still someone else's definition. And if you're saying it, if anyone is saying it loosely because they just heard it as like a key word around empath narcissist dynamic, then you're creating that negativity from that person, because narcissists are typically painted as being negative individuals, right? That's a stereotype, at least. I mean, so if it's up to your perception. I don't think anything about narcissists. Sure, there could be individuals that I'm like, oh, that looks like a textbook narcissist, but I know what the clinical definition is, and I'm like, oh, they might have some traits in there, sure, but they also don't. Because everyone, if you really looked at the clinical definition of a narcissist, some of those traits a lot of individuals have. Maybe even you have. I know I for shit do. Fuck yeah, I do. I have traits of narcissism, but not in a way where I'm not labeling myself I'm a narcissist. Just like I have traits of being an empath. I'm not labeling myself as an empath, but I can see resonance with both. So I'm like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, what? Now what? What you gonna do? You know what I mean? Because I can identify with some of those traits. But it depends on the moment. And I'm also not labeling myself. And the word narcissist gets thrown around so much. And people don't even understand what the clinical definition is. Mind you, they're just saying that because they heard the buzzword empath narcissist dynamic. Then it's like a whole bunch of like psychological dating fucking advice. And that's another one too. That is a great question. But even with the dating advice, you know, I'm not into dating advice. I mean, if you're not into manifestation and you listen to dating advice, you know, I guess that would be a whole other story. But for me, I'm like, if you know about manifestation, just shut the fucking dating advice off. That's not going to serve you. But there's also the psychological dating advice. How to heal after a breakup with a narcissist. Like, come on, stop. Okay? Stop. Or how to move forward in a relationship with the narcissist. And then you know what it is after they say all that? It's a bunch of mind fuckery based off of their perception. That's what it is. Because the truth is, everyone heals differently from the ego perspective, because there's nothing to heal from the God perspective, because there is nothing to heal from the God perspective. But everyone has a different process of emotions and thoughts, right? The old belief system leaving. So you can't say this is how you heal. No, because that's not the case. And if you're saying how to salvage your relationship with the narcissist, but you're still calling them a narcissist, and you still have the negative perception of that individual even being a narcissist. So you're going into saving the relationship with the narcissist while you're labeling them, number one, as the relationship needs saving, because it fucking doesn't, because that's not coming from the fucking God self, that's coming from the ego self. But you're also painting the motherfucker as a narcissist again. So even psychological dating fucking chit-chats, no, motherfucker. If you're into manifestation, I would suggest, I mean, if you look at it for fun, listen, I look at many things for fun. Okay, I look at many things for fun. I don't know how I stumble across these things, but I was yesterday I was on a fucking when I was on my TikTok stroll, I was looking at Uncanny Valley, and I said, oh, these faces look fucking trippy. I mean, I can entertain it without taking it seriously. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But if you're looking at content like that and you're just like, oh, cool, this is what they say a narcissist is. Okay, cool. This, even with the zodiacs, and I'm into zodiacs. But I'm going to, when someone talks shit about Aries, I'm not going to be like, oh, I identify with that. I'm like, well, I'm pimp as dope as baddest motherfucker around. I know that ain't about me. I'm fucking lit as fuck. Ain't nothing wrong with my motherfucking ass. I don't have negative characteristics. You see what I'm saying? To me. So you're looking at things, and are you looking at them as entertainment, and you're not taking it seriously? Like, oh shit, like you're this zodiac sign, and there's like a post talking about how they hate this zodiac sign, and then you're, oh man, but I'm not like that, and you're getting all like butthurt over it. That's how you tell that there's a belief in there, that you kind of swaying in that direction, because ideally nothing should bother you. You want to be able to ideally take in information in different areas, because I fucking do. I've researched the most random shit. Okay? I don't even remember what my most recent field trip that I was researching was. But it's like, if I'm taking it seriously, that means, number one, it's going to show up as prevalent in my experience. But number two, if I'm taking it seriously, then that means that I still like resonate, or if like I'm triggered, I'm taking it serious, like, oh, this is what it is, and I'm not open to other views. Like, you want to be open to everything and judge nothing. Oh, fuck. That's some shit right there. I'm gonna take me a sip of my Buddha juice. Because what's true resonance for you. You're not going to think anything if something that contradicts even who you say you are and who you know you are, right? So someone's like, oh, Aries are fucking assholes. Well, all right, cool, I can see that. Does that mean I'm an asshole? No. I mean, I'm sure at certain points I can be, right? Because, I mean, I have traits of empathy. I have traits of narcissism. Who am I being in the moment? Whatever the now moment calls for. But that's not who I am. That's not, I don't identify as anything. Like, yes, I'm Aries, right? That would be on paper, my fucking zodiac sign. But I'm not identifying as Aries, like, oh man, this is so serious and I gotta wreck this fucking shit and I'm gonna get an Aries flag up with a fucking ram. I mean, if you want to do that, if you're so like into it, sure, but you're still taking it like, all zodiac signs are beneath me. Like, no, dude. Just say, okay, yeah, cool, it is what it is, moving on. Everyone has greatness in them. That's it. And if you say everyone has greatness in them, they are only going to present themselves to you with that greatness and not with anything that you could perceive as a fault. Why? Because you fucking said so. So if you even have an egoistic perspective that you're labeling a motherfucker as a narcissist, okay, yeah, sure, they might be a narcissist on paper by the clinical definition, but you know what? They're always cool with me. That's it. That's how you can even get out of there. If it's too much for your ego to kind of like just jump in with a new story, you can say, yeah, maybe they're a narcissist, but you know what? They're cool with me. Because no one can present themselves to you unless you decide who you want them to be. So if you're basing someone off of like, narcissistic characteristics, or you're labeling them as avoidant attachment and you're listening to his dating advice, you still have to accept that as true. And then it'll be presented to you. So if you're not accepting it as true, you're like, oh, well, yeah, maybe they were an avoidant attachment, but you know what? I don't care. They're clingy with me now. That's it. You can acknowledge that there's something there, but it's not going to trigger you when you're in the God state, because you know who the fuck you are. You're not going to say anything negative about someone who you want in your experience, because then they have no choice but to show up negatively. There's some real good Buddha juice. I love it. So, I mean, honestly, like, you know, this shit with even psychological terms, like, sure, we can say that there's like science behind it, but even with like a psychological purported disorder, right? If you're still calling attention to something that's wrong with you or wrong with your mind, or even in terms of manifesting, oh, I have to do something else, but you might perceive that there's something wrong with you. No, don't ever fucking assume that anything is wrong with you. Why would you do that? You are the Lord and there is none else. So what can be wrong with the Lord? Nothing, because number one, the Lord, all his consciousness just exists beyond the field of right doing or wrong doing. And that's what I said in my most recent live with that quote from Rumi. There's nothing right, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing in manifestation where it's ethical or moral or free will. It's just what you say goes, period. It doesn't matter. If you are judging something, you're going to get evidence of that judgment. If you're feeling guilty, you're going to get evidence of that guilt. If you're feeling sad, you're going to feel evidence of that sadness. And I don't mean feeling like in a way where, like, because someone's going to say, oh, but you said that emotions don't matter. No, I mean like you're processing it in your vessel, and you're like, okay, well, this is kind of like, I feel sad about that. I don't know, but I'm going to continue with this. That's creating, because you're coupling the thought with the fucking feeling of sadness. So that's why you're going to get more of it. So go to the place of neutrality, which is the God state. Anytime a thought comes up that causes an emotion that you don't like, you're going to go back to neutrality. That's it. Just go back to neutrality, ground zero. Boom, it's done. Thank you for the rose. So that's how you stay in the God state, and that's how you get the shit to you the fastest, is the more you neutralize those energies that you're taking so seriously. You're just like, I'm calm, all is well, everything is perfect. I'm the Lord and there is none else. There is none other but me. I am the first, I'm the last, I'm the only. Boom, bitch. Now what? We go about our day. Like, you know, you want to toil with things that aren't even real. Like, let's even go into that, right? Would you apply this to health? You can apply this to any area. There is no exclusive area. You would apply this to anything. So when you are in the true neutrality, you're not blocking the manifestation, because it's already done. It's just done. It is. All you're doing is releasing the wall up between you and it. And that wall is that orgy going on in your mind of thoughts and emotions. And you just get caught up in it, and you believe that it's real because you're looking at it. But nothing is real unless you look at it. And I don't mean with your two physical eyes. Woo! Nothing is real unless you look at it and accept it as real. Nothing. If you didn't accept that your phone was in front of you right now, you wouldn't be here. There'd be something else going on. I guarantee you, because that's the way it works. There was actually this video that I had saw earlier. Was it? I don't remember when it was. It's fairly recent. Maybe it was today. Preach. Hell yeah, preach. There was this video. I don't know if this is true because I didn't conduct my own research on it, but someone was on here. Maybe some of you have seen this because it's kind of like in the manifestation community, but I don't know. It was like a random video that I've never seen this person before. But the video was about that there was a study conducted with groups of cats or something, and there were two groups of cats. Again, I don't know if this is true, but two groups of cats. Even if it's not true, it's a great fucking analogy, because I've read this before about like the color green, if you've seen my live on that. But there were two groups of cats, and they were both raised in separate environments, right? So if you want to picture a room, group one, another room, group two, these cats did not intersect with each other. They were just kept isolated to their own group in that room. In one of the groups, there were only horizontal lines painted on the walls. And in the second group, there were only vertical lines. I don't know why I'm making weird hand gestures, but whatever. I told you I talk with my hands. There are only vertical vertical lines. Well, you see what's on my mind. Fuck yeah. So, there were only vertical lines that were painted on the walls of this other room, right? So one group of cats, horizontal lines, other group of cats, vertical lines. And when they took these cats out of isolation, what happened is that the group that was grown up surrounded by the horizontal lines, they couldn't see vertical lines, and then so they were bumping into things that were vertical, such as like the example given was like a table leg or the leg of a chair, something like that. Like they couldn't see it, so they were bumping into it, but they could see easily how to jump on a couch, which was horizontal, right? So they're like, oh, okay, because they see the horizontal, but they didn't see the vertical. And then the same was purported to be true for the second group of cats. And this group of cats, they could only see the vertical lines, right? So they couldn't see horizontal. So they could jump, and cats could jump like a motherfucker. So they could jump on, like let's say there's like a cut off fucking log of a tree, it's like vertical. They would be able to jump on that, but they wouldn't be able to jump on like a log that was laid down on the ground because they couldn't see it because it was horizontal. So I don't know if this is true. Maybe some of you have, seen this or read about or know about this experiment. But I mean, even with cats, someone's gonna say, oh, but someone in a human vessel is not a cat. But I mean, think about it. If you have a humanoid vessel, and that's going on with cats who purportedly have lesser intelligence than someone in a humanoid vessel, then of course the same might resonate for a humanoid, right? Only not necessarily on a physical scale, but on a scale where it's like mental blocks, okay? So if you are told, oh my God, I feel like it's coming. I have like this crazy, not story time, but it was just some weird eye-opening experience. But so that was the limit with the cats, right? Those who only grew up around the horizontal lines, they could only see horizontal things. Those who grew up around the vertical lines could only see vertical things. Okay, cool. So now if we want to take this one step beyond, fuck yeah, shout out to that show, motherfucker. Fuck yeah, I love my sci-fi. So if we want to take this one step beyond, and it's like there's, a humanoid, they are purported to have more advanced intelligence than a cat. But I mean, listen, I've had telepathic communications with cats before. I'm dead ass. And I know some of you probably have too, and that's the thing. We would communicate by like blinking our eyes, and sometimes we would just look at each other and we would know shit. Like cats, whatever, okay? I've experienced it. That's all I need to know, that shit is real, because I had that experience. So, anyway, so they say that humans have like not human, because we're not human, but what they call the human body are more intelligent than a cat. Okay, cool. So there's a larger capacity for that metaphorical horizontal and vertical line. Okay, so when we think of it from a consciousness perspective, if someone was only fed beliefs that you have to work hard for money and relationships can't be easy and you need to work out at the gym every day to get your ideal body or whatever, right? You would need to listen to what the man in the white fucking lab coat is fucking telling you about your own fucking body or mind. That's like you're programmed with those ideas, right? So it's like the horizontal line or the vertical, pick one, right? You're only seeing that. So when you go out in the 3D matrix, like you're only aware of that, right? Because that's all you've been given. That's all you've been programmed. It's like you were that in that group where, okay, we're going to give them this input, and then, what are they going to experience on the outside? Only that, right? Because they don't have the conscious awareness to perceive that there is something greater. Okay? So then there could be another group of individuals that, let's say they grew up in an environment and it's like maybe they had those societal constructs attempted to be inflicted upon them, but then they also had maybe someone in their life who was like, oh hey, but there's actually more out there, right? There's the concept of telekinesis and telepathy and psychic ability, and our focused attention creates our experience. Like, they might be getting input from both, okay? And then now they're out and they're like, oh shit, like they see both things because it was programmed into their awareness to see both things, okay? So someone else is gonna ask, because I fucking sense it, someone's be like, well, how come some wake up in the matrix and others don't? My dude, I don't fucking know. But again, that could be also your perception of it, because that's another societal construct, that some individuals wake up and they realize that they're dreaming and some don't. How do you know that some don't? You're labeling them as they didn't wake up, therefore they cannot present themselves to you as being illuminated in the fucking darkness. Woo! Okay. They're sleeping, right? There's nothing, the lights are on, no one's home, in terms of like conscious awareness of, beyond the scope of what we've been programmed, right? They're just not aware of it. But they're not aware of it because you're saying they're not aware of it. So how would you even know that some individuals wake up in the matrix, and how do you know that some don't? You don't know until you declare this is what it is, and then the knowing is broadcast, and that's what you see. So you don't know if anyone else is woken up or not. It just matters what input how you interpret the input, because everything is already there, right? And how you can get into this awareness, if you feel like you're very third dimensionally inclined and you're only seeing like the horizontal lines, but you know that there's vertical lines, but you're like, I want to see both, right? You want to see also the fucking quantum side of things. Okay, it's there, right? Because it was always accessible to you. But how you get there is you calm the fuck down, you take yourself out of the egoistic monkey mind, and you just relax. I don't need to figure this out. I already know that more is there. My question has already been answered. I know now. And then whatever needs or wants to present itself to you to give you that answer, you're going to see it, and it is not something that you are going to be able to explain. Like, sure, you can explain it like you telling a fucking story time, but the experience as it processes in your vessel, you're not going to be able to explain, other than you're going to say, I just knew. There's no other, because it's godly, right? It's you cannot interpret it from the egoistic. You can't. The egoistic mind is like, well, yeah, this word describes it, but it's like, it's more than that. So when the answer comes to you, when you have made the declaration that I know, that knowing comes to you, and you're just like, oh, that opening of the door is personal to everyone. So however that knowledge comes to you, I don't fucking know, man. But when you declare that you want to know, all the answer will be given to you because you declared it as known. So if you want answers and you want to know that there's something more there, it's not necessarily something that you can look for, because even if you're looking for something, even if all the evidence is presented to you and you don't know it, you're like, well, maybe not, right? Like you're still, it's not going to click. So you could be open to it, but if you really want to know, that's something that can only be illuminated from within, homie. It can't, like, you can research all the spirituality and fucking metaphysics and quantum physics and manifestation, but until you have that knowing, and once you have that knowing, you can never ever fucking unknow something, because it's known, it's alignment, it's the purest fucking frequency. It fucking is. And no one is going to take that from you ever, because you know it. And it's not even something that you carry within you, it's just something that you project. And then more shit like that comes to you. But I can't tell you how it's going to happen. I can tell you a way to get there is, you want answers, you just say, I know the answer to this. Okay? That's it. I mean, if you really want to know the answer to it. And I mean something not just I want to know the answer of did they go to the club last night. I mean, like, even that, sure, you can declare that, but I mean, in like terms of like the bigger picture, how do you know this stuff? Okay, how do you know this stuff? Because I know. That's it. And I don't even remember saying I want to know it or making a declaration. I've just always fucking known this. And my journey was not that I was searching for it. My journey was, who the fuck is this motherfucker telling me what I know is true, ain't true? So it was more like, whoa, what you mean? What you mean? What you mean? Right? Not like I need the answers. I was like, I am the answer, bitch. So why are you trying to tell me otherwise when I know? That was my experience. Maybe some of you have had that experience too, or something similar. But I can tell you, if you want to know like about quantum and how reality is created and all that shit, you declare that you already know it, and that motherfucker be revealed to you. And it's not going to be something that you're going to put in a thought or an emotion, I promise you. It's just going to be known. So buckle up. I mean, if that's what you want to know, you know what I'm saying? I guess we're gonna do this little topic intermission thing, and I have my Buddha juice. Fuck yeah, sipping on the Buddha. Fuck yeah. Can you speak more about being one consciousness? That scrolled away super, super fast. Being one consciousness as your SP and other people. I spoke in depth about this, not in my most recent live on YouTube, but on the live before that, I believe. It's somewhere in there, so if you want to check that out, like, I go super, super in depth. You randomly, hey Jane, what's up, girl? Thank you for joining. Randomly bought Osho book that you spoke of him. Oh, nice. I love Osho. Osho is like, he's just a vibe, man. He's just like a super vibe. Yes, it is on YouTube. So if you go, I have the link to my YouTube in my bio on here. It wouldn't be my most recent video. I'm pretty sure it would be my second to most recent video. And I go on a whole thing. I think it might even be in the title too, about how if there's only one consciousness who is manifesting or something. I'm pretty sure that's what's in the title. Interesting. You think you were being led to read it, like how you spoke of the white book. Yeah, I mean, it probably was that. Like, if that's what you're saying it was, then definitely there was a message in there for you, for certain. How do you get in the knowing state? You declare that it is known. Whatever you want to know, you say, I know it now. It is done. And you can't think about when is it going to happen or how is it going to happen. You say, I know it. And then whatever needs to really lift the veil from your third eye. I literally just had a visual of someone's fucking third eye. It was like the Twilight Zone eye, like that eye that they have in the fucking intro, and a veil like being lifted, and it's like, ooh, recognition. Fuck yeah, motherfucker. It's just, you know, I'm super visual though. I like visualize things, and I don't even try to. It just happens naturally because that's who I am, motherfucker. I am all that is. So of course I'm going to be seeing things as I'm talking about them because it's like the pure essence of the experience. But you just declare that it's known, and then, you know, when whatever presents itself to you, whether it's a feeling, whether it's a situation, whether it's something that you just sense, you're going to know it, and it's going to feel like, oh shit. Like, it's not going to feel like, oh shit, like you're going to process something in your vessel that's unfavorable or unpleasant. It's to be like, oh shit, I know this. And you're just going to know it with a clarity that you're not going to be able to explain that knowing. But just say you know it, and then it is done. I know I am wealthy. Okay. I know that I know the answer to what is happening right now. Boom. I know that I'm married to so-and-so. I know that I enjoy perfect health. Boom. And you let it go and you don't put an expectation on how or when that knowing arrives to you. And this is something very important, because if you're putting an expectation on the how or the when, and you start to have that thought orgy and emotional orgy in your mind, oh, you're anxious, you don't know if it's going to happen, it's been so long, so I don't know why I'm making these fucking hand gestures, but okay, it's cool. Maybe someone is typing right now on a keyboard. Oh, they fucking are. That is interesting. Cool. And I know that. Ain't no one. Oh, I know. Someone was typing on a keyboard at the exact moment I fucking did that, and I fucking know it. But yeah. So you see how I did that? It's just I was doing something. I said I know. Boom. That's it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't need evidence. I don't need evidence. But like I know it's done, right? So when you're truly in that state of like you see the thought orgy happening, you see it from your mind's eye, or you can have an awareness of it. You're just like, I don't know any of these things, because if I knew any of these things for a fact, if it was who I am, my alignment, they wouldn't be having an orgy. It would already be done. Because all is one, so how could there be an orgy? Because there's no separation, right? The thought is battling the emotion is battling the thought is bringing in another thought for fucking backup. The emotion is amplifying, getting loud on the fucking bass and drums and shit. And you're just like, whoa. I'm Lord and there is none else. I know that this is, but then you are worried about timing. Okay, you have anxiety about the timing. You're thinking, oh, it's been this long. Oh, but what if it doesn't come by then? But what if this happens? Even that anxiety and that thought orgy starts playing out, even if you know that the thing is I mean, if you knew the thing was done, you really wouldn't have a thought orgy, because nothing would be able to take it from you. So if you're in a strong belief and then the thought orgy happens, then all you would need to do is just implement that process of calming yourself down, as I spoke of earlier in this live. And that's all you need to do. You don't even need to think about it again. You don't have any expectation when you declare something. Expectation and impatience just cause more time. And what I mean by expectation, right? I've used this analogy before, but it's like when you book a trip and you're like, okay, yeah, you're expecting to go, right? But the sensation as it processes is like, yeah, this trip is happening, it's already done, whatever. Like, what am I doing there? You're looking at it from a way where you're expecting it, sure, on some level, but it's like you already know the trip is booked, so you're not expecting, is the plane still going to take off, or like whatever, right? You're just like, yeah, it's done. It's like an expectation, but it's not an expectation from like, is it going to happen now? Am I going on the trip now? Is the plane going to leave now? It's like it's like an expectation, like, well, my desire is always fulfilled, for I'm the Lord and there is none else. So whenever it plays out because I know that's already done. So it's like, you're kind of like, you have it in your awareness that it's done. So there's that, not that you're expecting it, but you've already kind of accepted it. Okay. So if you're in a strong belief and you're like expecting it, that can also push away because you're looking for it. So if you're looking for something, how are you going to find it? Because your awareness is on looking for it and not that it's already there. So those are the things that, I've noticed about like collapsing the timeline and stuff. The simplest thing to do is just not be in the way of the thing happening. And the easiest way to not be in the way of it is to just calm yourself down if you feel like you start to spiral. You don't have to address the thoughts. Hey, Kylie. Woo! Thank you for joining, gorgeous. Oh, thank you. You look divinely beautiful. Thank you so much. Your 3D reality caught up. Oh, shit. Congrats. Fuck yeah. Just like you knew. Just like you always knew, right? So congratulations. I'm so happy for that. Can you talk about how to actually keep your desire in the 3D? Perfect. So I'll go into that with our, I'm having a little intermission here. Okay. So just to, kind of close out what I was saying, you set the intention that is done. But if you are expecting it, as in looking for it, you're placing your awareness on it not being done, and that expands you looking for it, because now you're consciously focused on looking for it. Okay, so just declare it's done. Don't put any expectation from an egoistic perspective. Is it happening yet? Is it happening yet? Is the plane taking off? You don't want to do that. You have like a general knowing that it's done, so there might be a little bit of an expectation, but it's not going to be an anxious expectation. That's how you know. Okay, so don't let that fucking emotional thought orgy take hold in your mind. You calm yourself down. You know what to do. Okay, and then you breathe through it. That in and of itself, without you even affirming or thinking about the desire again, is enough to kind of quantum leap. Now you reached closer to that desired timeline because there's nothing in the way, right? Like you're like, okay, yeah, let me breathe through it. Now that's not in the way. Okay, keep moving forward. Okay. So that was an excellent question about how you keep your desire. I'm not sure if I've talked about this before. I might have talked about this on like a live a while ago, but anything that anyone is, even though the thing is already done, it's successfully manifested, right? They have the thing now in the 3D, okay? How you maintain it, it might seem, and everyone is different, okay? But it might seem like you have to kind of consciously work at keeping up your mental diet with it, because if you, let's say, you have the money or you have the person, you have whatever, right? You have to be mindful. Number one thing, not to go back to the old ways of thinking. Because when you don't have the desire, it can be maybe easy to like power yourself up and be like, yeah, this is what's going on, right? Because you're not getting any type of feedback. But let's say you have the thing now, okay? You want to maintain that calibration of yourself with that thing. And how you do that is you don't think negatively. So you get the money. Okay, cool. Oh no, but what were you thinking where you didn't have the money? When is the money going to get here? How's the money going to get here? Is the money going to run out? Like, what if this happens? What if that happens, right? You have to cut that out. You have to look at money as this thing that is natural in your experience. So for that example, you say it's safe and natural for me to have all this money in my life. It's safe and natural for me to have this material realm wealth, okay? It's safe and natural. If you feel the old story creeping up, the same thing for a relationship, okay? The person is there. You don't think about the past version of that person, okay? So if it's a person, you're going to say so-and-so, whatever their name is my loving, devoted partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, husband, wife, whatever you want to call it, okay? This person is loving and devoted to me just as I knew. They are here, they are in love with, whatever the fuck you want to say, but I would go with this person is my XYZ, ABC, whatever they are, right? Because that was your end goal. You want marriage with someone, they show up, and maybe you're not engaged yet. You don't waver and say, well, why did they show up? I was affirming that we're married and they just showed up and we didn't get married right away. That doesn't mean that it's not happening, so the person can show up, but you still don't want to waver from your end goal. So-and-so is my loving, devoted spouse. That's it. They're showing up in the 3D. Okay, but they're my loving, devoted spouse. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, they're my loving, devoted spouse. And it would be the same thing for, any other area, okay? It's just that, relationships and money, people tend to have the most concern over, from what I've noticed. Again, that could be my perception. But you have the end goal, okay? So even if you start seeing a little bit of money coming in, but it's not the full amount, you don't get discouraged and say, oh, but what about like this and that, and that's not the full amount. You deviated from the course, okay? So if you start to get movement in those areas, you still remain in that end goal that you want. And let's say you have the end goal. Let's say the millions of dollars are in your bank account. You're going to be mindful, and you're not going to have to do this forever. You're going to be mindful. You're going to say, it is safe and natural for me to be a multimillionaire. All's well, everything is perfect. I'm Lord and there is none else. When you're married to the person, let's say you're manifesting the person back, they show up, you get married, boom, the same day, that's it. Okay, so you're happily married. That was your end goal, right? So if they do anything, if they say anything, you know, anything that's happening in the 3D, so-and-so is my loving, devoted spouse, and we're happily married just as I knew, and all is well, and everything is perfect, right? But then also, you don't want to look for problems in that end goal. So you have the money, but now someone might be thinking, oh, well, what if this happens? What if that happens with the money? Now there could be, I'm not saying, but there could be a whole new set of questions where now you're worried that you have all the money. Just like the person's there, you're happily married, but then you're worried, oh, but what they were out at work like extra 30 minutes. What's going on? You see? So what I recommend is, if anyone had any limiting beliefs that contradicted the thing that they wanted, such as, you know, money is hard to come by or relationships never work out, those beliefs, okay, if you start noticing the old story creep up, it is from the old belief that you had about that topic. So then you're going to address the old belief. It is safe and natural for me to have large sums of money without fear of anything. My money is mine. It has always been mine. It always will be mine because I am the currency. Nothing that I am can be taken from me, and I am the currency. I carry currency with me. And you would do the same thing in relationships. Relationships always have worked out perfectly for me. I am my ultimate relationship. I'm always fulfilled. I'm the only one. All's well. Everything is perfect. I'm worthy and deserving of this relationship. I needn't do a thing, and this individual loves me because I'm so valued. I'm so appreciated. Whatever the root was, okay, that created that old story, you're going to address that. And it might seem like you need to do this for a little bit of time, okay, but you're not going to need to do it forever. But just when the thing first shows up, you want to be mindful. Do not go back to the old story. It's as simple as that. And you follow the protocols, as I said. If you feel like that thought and emotion orgy coming up, like, oh no, that's just, if it happens, if it's the old story, you calm yourself down no matter what. You say, it's safe and natural for me to be a multimillionaire. It's safe and natural for me to be in my perfect, loving, healthy relationship. You calm that down. You come first. You calibrate yourself. You relax. You say, this is the old story leaving. That's it. It's done. It's gone. That's it. But also what I recommend with your manifestation, this is why I was talking about one of my recent videos. I was saying, even before your manifestation materializes in front of your face in the 3D, I would go one step beyond even that. So it's great that you now have your manifestation in the 3D to maintain it, right? But also, it's like, okay, now what? So you have the millions of dollars, right? If you did your homework, in my opinion, like, you know, with a purpose, you would already be like, okay, the $1 million. I remember when I was manifesting $1 million, I want to get this, and I want to get that, and I want to travel here. So you would be so in the momentum of your one step beyond that you likely wouldn't even have time, quote unquote, to be in your head. Is it working out? You're just... Because remember, everything, there's no stagnancy. You're always moving. So that's why you go one step beyond before the thing gets there. This way you can have it lined up for you. And the same thing for the relationship. Okay, so you're happily married. So when you were manifesting to be happily married, what did you want? Did you want to go on a honeymoon? Did you want to travel around the world? Did you want to like have kids with the person? What is the next step? Are you buying a home together? You know what I'm saying? You're already in that, and you're immersed in performing the actions that you said you were going to perform when you were manifesting the thing. So you would be focused on that, right? Because you line that up too. And then, of course, because manifestation is a constant, right? What's going to happen is that you're going to be in there. It doesn't shut off. So then you don't want to be in that and say, okay, now what? I got my thing. You know, I've already told you how not to go back to the old story, but now you're like, okay, so what next? So you're happily married, you have the millions of dollars, so you're in it, right? You're doing the things that you said you were going to do when you would get the thing. Now you have the thing, so you're in it, and you're doing that, and you're focused on how much pleasurable experience you're racking up in the 3D, and then you're like, okay, what now? What now? Like, it doesn't shut off. And the only way that something can be stagnant or taken from you is if you're doing that with your mind. So you don't want to be like, oh, okay, we're happy married now. Oh, now what? Like, you just fall off your fucking mental diet. You have the money, but you fall off the mental diet of that. You don't enjoy the money, you having it. You enjoy the shit that you have, but then you're like, oh, because the consciousness always is expanding as well, the awareness. So then you say, okay, well, you know, now I want to do this, right? I'm traveling the world with the millions of dollars. So what do I want next? Maybe I want to buy a home here. Maybe I want to buy a home there. You're constantly projecting in the future. And if you're constantly projecting into the future what you want, you know how to manifest consciously to your benefit because you already manifested the thing. You're like, okay, I have proof that I manifested this. So you know what? I'm going to work on the next manifestation, go one step beyond. What do I want after this? Because it doesn't shut off. It doesn't. So your mind doesn't shut off. So if you're going to be thinking, you're thinking your benefit in ways that serve you, you're just going to be propelled along. That's it. It's not going to be anything, you know, and you just get used to it in the moment. And that's what you do. If any fear comes up, it is safe and natural for me to be a multimillionaire. It's safe and natural for me to be married to so-and-so. Like it is safe and natural. You breathe through it. Okay, cool. If that occurs, and everyone's, you know, experience is different. Oh, oh, look at this, guys. This is amazing. Your life contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason, nudity and body exposure. I mean, if this is nudity to someone or the bots, I don't even know what it is. I mean, you don't want to encounter me in real life because this is a lot of clothes for my motherfucking ass. I love being ass naked. I say it again. Maybe we show a little more here. Fuck yeah. Let's like parade them around since it's the hot topic, apparently. Because this is naked to whatever. Fuck that. You like the tongue ring too, baby? Anyway. So that's basically how you navigate through that. Like you're navigating, but you're always navigating. You're not placing your focus on, okay, now I'm going to go back to the old story, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. You keep going one step beyond with what you want. You know what I mean? I don't have haters. I absolutely don't. Everyone loves me and they love all of this right here. Fuck yeah, that's why I was mentioned. Everyone is in love with me. In love with my titties too, you know? Fuck yeah. But anyway, that's what I would go with, you know, maintaining anything. The maintenance is really, it's like you upkeep it, right? Like you upkeep getting oil changes on the car, you upkeep, like you clean your home, right? It's just you're taking care of what you have. You're being mindful to take care of it, but it's like on a mental level, you take care of it. You don't allow your mind to be soiled with things that can go wrong. You know what I mean? So that was a great question. I think like a lot of individuals might find benefit with that because it's not something that's too commonly talked about. But people, you know, it's like you had to understand, it just doesn't shut off. So whatever you did manifesting that thing, you're always manifesting, but stick with that trajectory. You know, if you were doing visuals, and what's the next thing that you want to have in your experience? Visualize that. And most importantly, don't go back to the old story. The old story is goodbye. Goodbye. Gone with the wind. Nothing to see here, error. 404 error message, no old story. I don't know if I have anything, hold on. I like screenshotted a whole bunch of notes, and I think I have some other notes. Whoa, okay. There's some interesting things over here, but, you know, that would, okay. So yes, you're not the emotions, you're not the thoughts. Yes, they can be tools to help you create, but you're not them. And the most important is that you don't want to take it seriously unless you want it to be shown up as being serious in your 3D. And this is why, like, that, so, that phrase unbothered, it's just that's who you want to be. Anything that happens in the 3D, okay. Anything that doesn't happen in the 3D, okay. It just is what it is. You're unbothered. You're unfazed either way. You're not, accepting anything other than what you have going on up here. So if you're only accepting only what's going here, right, your mind, when really is consciousness in your mind, or is your mind here, what they say, the brain, it's just receiving that consciousness from, hey, Corey Marie, thank you for the gifts. The story that you have in your awareness, I should say, because where is the story really? Can we pinpoint it to the brain? No, the brain might be receiving it. It might be having like feedback responses to that story, but where is the story, right? It's intangible. You want to go with that, and if you're accepting only the story that your awareness is focused on, then in essence, from the third dimensional perspective, you're rejecting all other possibilities, because that's what true acceptance is. So if I accept I am love, okay, all other possibilities collapse out of the fucking timeline, right? If I accept I am wealthy, all other possibilities collapse out of the timeline, because I'm accepting one thing. So by default, from a 3D perspective, everything that is not the thing that I accept as true for me must be rejected. And that's it. You keep accepting the desire to yourself. You're just like, I accept this, I accept this, I accept this. That's the ultimate right there. Hell yeah, Corey Marie. Woohoo. Thank you for joining. When you accept something, and that something is a thing in your mind, or maybe out of your mind, but your mind is receiving it. Again, it's all just fucking wordplay, right? What you're doing is canceling out other possibilities. It's a clear channel. It's alignment. Do you think it's unrealistic to manifest enough money to never need to work again? I mean, I'm just going with, do you think it's realistic? Because what is realistic even? And if we're talking about manifestation, there's nothing realistic or unrealistic. It's what you are focused on. But if you have a belief this is unrealistic, then that's what's going to happen. So why are you calling it unrealistic? That's the question. Should we say no? It's simple. Think another way. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Should we say no to what? If you want to like clarify, that would be great, because I have no idea what we're saying no to. But yeah, there's no, with manifestation, we're not doing anything with realism or logic or anything of that nature. We're just going by, oh, this is in my awareness. Yeah, I'll take that. And you just go with it, and you don't interfere or contradict with that thing, you know? What we not will, I don't know if I like entirely missed your question, but I don't know what you mean by that, honestly. I'm just looking at the chat now. Wee-hee. Okay, so I don't go by logistics. I don't go by realism. I go by, I mean, if you want to even call it that stereotypical phrase, Delulu is the Salulu. Strong no, or simply ignore. Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying. Okay. Whatever is processing as right to you, like there could be different things. If an unwanted thought comes up or an unwanted emotion comes up, you could say no, or you could just be like, okay, that's from the old story. It really depends on the person. So you got to kind of sense it out with what's going to bring you more calm in the moment. That's what you're going to do. You're going to bring yourself more calm in the moment. So what brings you more calm? Saying no, like firmly, or just like, whatever. It's going to be different for everyone, and it might be different for you, even with different areas of your life. So one thought you might be able to just ignore, but another thought you might really, want to assert mental dominance over. That's going to bring you more peace. So it really depends. It's just something that you kind of go with it. And you don't need to constantly do this. I mean, the more that, like I said in the beginning or middle, I don't even fucking know. Time doesn't fucking exist. But like, if all you did was decide what you wanted and you just were able to calm yourself down in the moments that you were triggered, you would stop getting triggered, because now you're training the response system of your body to, be more induced in a calm state. And those thoughts and emotions would stop coming up for you because you're not entertaining them. And if you're not entertaining them, there's nothing to be triggered by, and they're going to become easier for you not to entertain because they're going to come in your awareness less because you're not entertaining them, just like the TikTok algorithm. You know what I mean? The TikTok algorithm is very, very similar to your mind. And I know other individuals have spoken on that before, but I find it to be a very suitable example for this. You don't like it, you scroll past, you don't engage. You don't look at the comments, you don't send it to your friends, you don't like it, goodbye. Same with the thought, you don't like it, goodbye. You don't like an emotion, let me breathe that out. Oh, you imagine it like you just took a huge bong rip. It's out, gone with the wind, motherfucker. You've always been like that? I'm not sure what that question, what is that referring to, Laura, if you want to clarify. I love your bat icon. You're welcome. Hell yeah. Corey Marie, can you talk about the Kabbalion tree? I just found out about it even though I read the book. I think you mean the Kabbalah tree. The Kabbalah in the book, I don't think that they reference the Kabbalah. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know, but I think you mean the Kabbalah tree. And that's like what they call the tree of life. I personally am not familiar with that. I've seen it spoken about in like metaphysical context, but I don't personally resonate with the Kabbalah tree and all of that, like, because there's different interpretations of like the tree of life, but I'm not going to tell you I know something when I don't, and I just don't resonate with that. But if you are interested in it, like if you just look into, I mean, of course you know this, but like you could do that research on your own, because maybe it's something that's calling to you that it might help you because you're resonating with the Kabbalah tree. You can say like, you can look at it, maybe get like a visual of it and see if it speaks to you before you read someone else's definitions. Just look at it, Kabbalah tree, and then see what it's saying. Because if you're drawn to it, you might be, inclined to receive a message from it. You know what I mean? And that's your journey. But if you are going to research it further, I suggest looking at it, kind of sensing on your own. I know what I desire to know about the Kabbalah tree. It is done now. That's it. And then see if anything comes up. And then, of course, if you want to research it and see what other people say about it, that's entirely up to you. But I would go with like just seeing what your intuition says first. And then maybe, if you're still kind of like, well, I just want to know other perspectives, then look into what other people have wrote about it. But, number one thing, if anything like that calls to you, what is it telling you? Go with what you are processing in your vessel of what it means to you, because it's going to mean something different to you than even individuals who have wrote about it, Do you think subliminals are low-key a form of chasing or lack? Thank you for the gift, Corey Marie. I don't think that, me personally, no, I don't think that, but the subliminals are your perception of it. It's not my perception. It's there as like a placebo to help you remain in the state, or to think, okay, if I listen to this, something positive is going to happen. But it's not that the thing is making something positive happen. It's that your intent is saying something positive is going to happen if I listen to this, so I'm going to listen to it. So it's what you make of it. You know what I mean? You do your own sub with your voice. You think it's better that way. Well, if you think it's better that way, then that's what you definitely ought to continue doing, because it's all your perception, right? So, I mean, if it's your voice and you're saying exactly what you want, yes, like your subconscious is very familiar with your own voice, and you get to put in those subliminals exactly what you want, so you're aware of what's going in there. And if you're like, yeah, this is the best thing for me, that's what you're going to see examples of and evidence of in the 3D. I'm still sipping on my Buddha juice here. But bottom line is, you don't need anything to manifest. You don't, because what can you need to manifest when everything is already done? You know, it's just, all of these things are placebos for your egoistic monkey mind to shut the fuck up. You can never tell, because when you're in a relationship, you don't listen to subliminals because it's done already. I mean, again, that's your perception. I mean, if you're in a relationship, you could listen to subliminals for something else, if that's something you desire. But I mean, if the subliminals are kind of just what you're viewing as like somewhat like a ladder to get you there, and then once you're there, you're like, okay, you know what, I don't need the ladder anymore because I've already climbed here, then, you know, it's all up to the person. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's experience is different. So that's why, like, some individuals, like, even, you know, with like the success stories, and, you know, I manifested this on a time crunch and it took me 3 days. That doesn't mean that it's going to work for everyone, because everyone is different. So you have to find what works for you. But the thing that I have noticed across the board is that the quicker you're able to calm yourself down and not spiral, the more free-flowing and fast the manifestations seem to arrive. And that's all you need to do, is calm yourself down if something is coming up that you don't like. Calm is a superpower. That's why they fucking say that with that fucking cliche saying. I don't even know who fucking said that. Honestly, I have no idea, but I've heard that a lot. Probably it's purported to be said by like 12 different motherfuckers, and ain't no one know. I mean, I agree with it. Yes, you would have to agree and accept that, but I could see what they're getting at when they say calm is a superpower. And don't you just love my my fucking little straw sound there? They are manifesting the affirmation. You felt them think of you, their energy, it worked instant. Hell yeah, there you go. There you go. Because, here's another thing. Thank you, Corey Marie. I always love when you're in here. You give like the most amazing perspectives on things. I love your comments. Thank you always for joining. But this is something also that you want to keep in mind. No one can manifest you in your reality unless you're saying they are manifesting me. And then they have no choice but to manifest you. No one can manifest for you or against you in your reality unless you are assuming that they are manifesting for you and against you, right? Just like no one else can manifest the same thing you want unless you agree and say, yes, they are manifesting the same thing that I want. It's all you. So someone else manifesting you, boom, you did that. Someone else not manifesting, boom, you did that. Someone else manifesting something you wanted, boom, you did that. You did all of it. So them manifesting you is a story coming from you. That's it. No one can manifest for you unless you say, yes, they can manifest for me. Because you're the only thinker, you're the only awareness. There is none else. I am the Lord, bitch. So I just don't get that whole thing. I mean, if someone is saying that, what if someone else wants the thing that you want? Why did you put competition in there in the first place? Like, you are the Lord and there is none else. It's not, I am the Lord and this motherfucker right here. What? Bitch. Ain't no other motherfucker. It's just me. It's just you. Like, yes, we're reflections of, you know, the inner from the outer, but you are the only thinker and you prove it to yourself all the time. There's no one else in your mind. It's just you. And you're not even in your mind, right? You're the awareness behind the thoughts. Ooh, I love this. It's black cherry sparkling water. I do love it. And I love red currant. Currant. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's not spelled like current. It's spelled like currant. But I think they call it currant. I don't know what the fuck they call it. Like I said, phonics. Pronouncing things. I don't know about that. This type of shit, like intangible. Fuck yeah, I know about that. Woohoo. I'm eating as usual. Thank you for joining. I'm just going on, we started with a sermon. I did a little bit different today. I did a few topics, but I did an intermission in betwixt those topics. So I had my Buddha juice fucking breaks, you know what I'm saying? Then I went to the chat. Hell yeah. Would I ever do a meet and greet? I don't know. I don't even know where I would do that if I were to. I'm open to that, of course. But I don't know where I would do that, because I know that you guys are like global. So I don't even know what country or what city would be easily accessible to everyone. Of course, it's easily accessible if you say it is, but you know what I mean? I definitely fucking would do it. Hell yeah. I just wouldn't know where to do it. You know what I mean? Manifestation retreat. I've heard of those actually. I've never been to one. I don't know exactly what goes on there. But I'd be open to that too. Hell yeah. If like enough people were interested in doing that, I definitely would do that. That'd be fucking lit as fuck. And I would be like, you know what? Whatever you want to do that makes you comfortable. You want to bring some Buddha juice. You want to whatever. Hey, if that's what gets you in the fucking zone of manifestation and being in that reality co-creative vibe, bro, hell yeah. There's no judgment here. You do what the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? Fuck yeah. Hey, Emerald. I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling burnt out. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining. You don't even know because you're passionate about spirituality. I helped you. So, thank you, Jane. I'm glad that I helped you. Love that. Ooh, Cali or Miami. Fuck yeah. That would be, Cali and Miami. It would ideally be somewhere where it's like warm weather. You know what I mean? Especially if it was like in the winter and this was like Australia. Because then it'd be like summer there, but it'd be winter here. So yeah, I don't know if it was wherever the fuck it will be somewhere where there's warm weather. I'm not gonna pick. Let's go to Antarctica for the retreat, because I've been down the Antarctica rabbit hole too. I don't take it seriously or not seriously. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but I've been down that rabbit hole. I'm like, okay, so it wouldn't be there because I don't do no ice. I'm not like a fan of fucking snow. Like it's like not my thing. The only cold air I like is artificial like my titties. That's how I like my cold air. I don't like no real cold air. We gotta get the fuck out of here. You have no resistance to anything anymore at all. Like even the story. Ooh, nice. Hell yeah, that is your husband. Definitely, Jane. That's where you was hoping we would meet up. Cali or Miami. Well, Cali is huge. Number one, it'd be Southern California for sure, because like Northern California, I heard gets like super cold. But Emerald, no, if you feel burnt out, I don't know what you have been doing or not doing in the 3D, but if you feel burnt out, don't feel like you have to force yourself to do shit. If you're feeling burnt out, you need to just kind of relax and chill and do something in the 3D that you know is going to relax you. Even if it's fucking taking a nap or spending an entire day just, fucking Netflix and fucking chips in the bed. You know what I mean? Well, not in the bed. I don't know. For me, I'm like OCD with like eating in my bed, but whatever. Everyone is different. That's just an example. But you know what I mean? If you even want to do like a Netflix and chill by yourself, you're just like, this is going to relax me. I'm just going to watch movies that I know I enjoy. And it has nothing to do with my manifesting, but I know that I'm just going to be recharged by this. Because that's what you want to do energetically. If you're burnt out, what happens when your fucking battery starts drooping. You know what I'm saying? You charge it in. So what like replenishes your energy? Only you can know that. But don't be in your mind like, oh, I had to constantly affirm. No, you'd be like, all is well, everything is perfect. I'm always having the most amazing energy because I am the currency myself. That's it. You would want to stop number one, also saying that you burnt out. You know, you always have a lot of energy. You just applied to Oxford and you're getting psyched out because you had to write an essay within this week. I mean, I would look at that more as an exciting opportunity, because if you applied to Oxford, this is just kind of like the bridge in the 3D sense leading you there. So you're like, oh, I'm so excited because I get to write this essay and I know I already graduated from Oxford. So this essay is the best essay I've ever fucking written in my entire fucking career so far. And whenever you see, the thing is why I personally tend to add that shit in so far is because we never want to put a limit on it. Okay, we never want to put a limit on anything. So even if, like, let's say you're saying an affirmation for something like that, this is the best essay I have ever written. It's like, okay, so if you had to write another essay that kind of implies it's gonna not be good, right? You want to leave it open, even though the next now moment is like, time doesn't exist. You could say I never even theoretically wrote the first essay, but you know what I mean. Okay, we're not going to play around too much with words in this one, but I would suggest always, this is the best thing I have done so far. This is my best day ever so far. This is my most amazing vacation so far. You want to leave it open-ended to expand so that how amazing this thing turned out for you, there's even more greatness to be had and felt and tasted and touched. Felt and touched are kind of the same thing, unless you feel it on an emotional level, and then you're touching it in the flesh, like different things. But you know, everything is pleasurable and always expanding to our favor. That's like the whole fucking point that I wanted to make. La 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 la. You look gorgeous. Thank you, Opulence. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you being here. We have no reason to suffer. We were fed lies. Yet there is no reason to suffer, because what is suffering? It's just a perception of something, right? It's just a perception. Because someone might look at someone else's situation, and from their perspective they're like, oh wow, that's a lot, but the person in it is just chilling. They're like, okay, yeah, like this is going on, like they're not even bothered, because remember, it's perception. So what is your perception? Not you, but like, you know what I mean? Thank you, Jane, for that comment, because this kind of segued into something else. But like, anyone, what is suffering to you? Like, you know what I mean? And why would you think that you have to experience that? You know, because suffering to individual A might be different than suffering to individual B. You know, so what is suffering to you, and why would you even think that you need or have to or would want to experience such a thing? Because there's no such thing as suffering, because there's no such thing as joy. Buddha juice? Buddha motherfucking juice. There's no such thing as suffering, because there's no such thing as joy. It's just a polarity on the third dimensional plane. From the cloud of judgment, but to the God self, everything is. So in the suffering is the joy. In the joy is the suffering. They're the same thing, different degree. But who's the one that's judging if this is suffering or if this is joy? I don't know if like joy is like the exact fucking antithesis of fucking suffering. It might be another word on paper, but like I said, I don't do no motherfucking phonics in this bitch. I talk in metaphors and I open up mental doors. Fuck yeah. Occasionally I rhyme. But yeah, anyway. So, ooh, thank you for the chili. I love chili peppers. Hell yeah. Yes, exactly. The Matrix has so many mental traps to make you think you aren't in control, but you are. I agree with that, Corey Marie. Definitely, definitely. There's no suffering, there's no joy. It's just your perception of neutral events. It's your perception of emotions. You know what I mean? Like, all of it is you. So, calm neutrality again, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna preach this to the fucking choir. And I'm gonna say calm neutrality is the ultimate, because you're beyond the illusion of everything. You're just at stillness. You're just at peace. Just like the story that I like to tell about Ram Dass and what he wrote in his book, Be Here Now, which I fucking love because that shit has some trippy ass motherfucking drawing quotes in it. And I love me some drawing quotes. And he says that he was like on some mountain or something with some like spiritual dude, and the spiritual dude, like, you know, Ram Dass was trying to have a conversation with him, like, oh, so what do you do for fun? Or whatever the fuck he was saying, like some third dimensional conversation. And the guy was just like, he's like, be here now. And Ram Dass is like, what do you mean? I'm just trying to get to know you. He's like, don't quote me on this, but he's like, you know, the only thing that matters is now. What do you mean, who am I? I'm here now. Or some shit. I say, yo, that shit is lit as fucking balls. Okay, that shit was lit up. Like, there is nothing to know other than right now. Because technically the past doesn't exist, but it can continue to exist in your awareness. You can repeat loops and patterns by your focus on it. So if you're focused on the past, you're recreating it because your point of awareness is, well, here's something, but the point of awareness is just looking at it now. So that's what comes to pass. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Exactly. The present moment is all there is. That's exactly what it is, you know. And I found that so fucking interesting. Like, I remember this is why I tell you guys, I even tell you guys, I've read a lot about this shit. Do I resonate with everything Ram Dass says? No. Okay. Do I resonate with some of the things that he says? Yes. Do I think that he has great messages in his content? Yes. But I'm still the observer. I still get to choose. I agree with this or I don't. Even though I got some information from him, like that little story I just told you. And I'm like, yo, that shit is lit. It helped click something in me. Okay. But that doesn't mean I agree with everything that he says, because it just doesn't. I'm like, oh, I agree with this. I don't know if I really agree with that or whatever. The same thing with Neville Goddard, Florence Scovel Shinn, Joe Dispenza, all these people, Bashar even, you know, I agree with like stuff that they say, but I also don't agree with everything that they fucking say. I'm not saying Joe Dispenza said this, so now I have to do that, and I had to, whatever the fuck he says, heart, brain, coherency. Okay, that's great. That's working for him. He's successful, right? Like, he's doing his retreats, and he's been, right? People know him, so he's doing something in terms of that, where, okay, sure, you know. But is he God in my reality? What he says is the final word? Absolutely the fuck not. He has great information, as does Neville Goddard, Florence Scovel Shinn, even Abraham Hicks, because I first started getting into this with Abraham Hicks. I'm not going to knock them. Do I agree with like everything that they say? Absolutely not. But they do have some good content in there. But I'm still the operant power. So whenever I suggest reading a book or watching a movie or whatever, you have to still use your own discernment, what resonates with you as truth. And knowing. And it might be some things and it might not be everything. But it's just you process it as a knowing, which, oh, I know, that clicked. And that's indescribable. So, I mean, you gotta just go in and see it like we were talking about the Osho book over here. The Osho book called to you, right, Jane? I don't know if you're still in here, but if you is, what's up? Thank you for still being here. But with that whole thing with the Osho book, it called to you. Why? There was something in there for you. Oh, yes, I'm glad you're still here. But like, do you see what I'm saying? It's something called to you. Does that mean you're going to agree with every single thing Osho said? No. But it called to you because there's a message in there that resonates, right? That's why it was, you know, your awareness was pointed there or guided there, however you want to look at it. You chose another book within your friend knows the author. Oh, wow. That is fucking interesting. Yeah, I mean, whatever you're called to, there's a message in there for you, or else you wouldn't have been called to it. That's just what it is. Whether you agree with everything or whether you don't, you know, it's still your universe. So you can get a lot of information from other people, but you're still the ultimate. You're the only thinker. So only you can say, does this jive with me? Okay. I love the sound this makes. I don't care. I don't care. I love it. I love it. Okay, that's my sense of humor. Yes, exactly. Almost everything you read, you know what it's reflecting or when you thought it. There you go. Exactly, Jane. I know you're like super enlightened on this stuff. I know you got this. I know you know. But you know, you can't like look at what someone says, right? Because even individuals who are aware of manifestation, reality, co-creation, they're still like, well, but Neville Goddard said this. My dude, are you Neville Goddard? I mean, okay, sure, you're Neville Goddard on a all is one consciousness level, cool, but are you, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we nitpicking or are we getting our fucking shit? You know what I mean? You don't need to resonate with every single thing someone says, even if it's me. That's why I always tell you that, and this is why, oh man, I want to speak on this. I want to speak on this because I've been asked this so many times, okay? How do you interact with someone in the 3D? And I don't like telling anyone what to do in the 3D, okay? I don't, because I'm not you. I don't know if you say this, how are you going to feel after? If you don't say this, how are you going to feel after? If you do this, if you don't do that, pick anything, okay? So you want to do something in the 3D, or you want to purposely ignore something, whatever it is, I don't know. And I'm talking about like on a physical level. I'm not saying ignore it in your mind. I'm not saying talk to someone in your mind. But when you are physically dealing with a person, interacting with them, right? I don't know how you're going to feel after, right? One step beyond. Fuck yeah. Okay, we're going to roll with that. I don't know how the fuck you're going to feel. Only you do. So this is why I'm not telling anyone what to do, because you can only know how you would process that situation. So I suggest before you interact with anyone in the 3D, before you respond or before you ghost someone or before you block them or before you do a drive-by outside their house, how are you going to feel after you did that? That's it. That's it. Just think about it. Just think. You don't need to do or not do anything. Just take a moment and be like, okay, if I were to do this, what would I be feeling after? I don't know if I'd really enjoy that. And then someone's going to say, oh, but technically only the now moment exists. So even if you do something, then, you know, you can just pretend it never happened. Sure, you can do that. But I mean, in a lot of cases, if you do something and then there's like an aftermath, you might fucking feel something. Okay, I'm just saying. So we can nitpick till the fucking cows come home, okay? Yes, if you did something in the 3D, you don't like it, ideally you would just say, you know what, that happened to my benefit, or that never happened, or you would revise it, okay, boom, whatever. Moving forward, but then you really can't think about it again. But before you do something or not do something, ask yourself, how am I going to feel knowing that I have done this? And then if it processes as calm and there's no care and there's no expectation or whatever, you're just like, I'm doing this because I'm doing it for me. Because that's the only reason you would ever ideally want to do anything is for you. For you. Not for the other motherfucker. Even if it's just for your own satisfaction, you're going to feel like, yeah, I'm vindicated in this, and I said this, and I told motherfucker off, and I walked away, and I never looked back. If you're going to feel calm and content and good about yourself doing that, by all means fucking do it. But if you're gonna do it, well, I'm gonna tell this motherfucker off and I'm gonna block them because I want them to stalk me and make a fake account and message me after. No, you doing it for someone else. You're doing it to get a fucking reaction, and that's not authentic. Because you're doing it for the outside. You're not doing it from here, what's gonna serve you. The same thing, like, I want to tell them off. Okay, you tell them off then. In your mind, okay, so you did that. Now what? What's one step beyond? Do you regret it? Are you going to be embarrassed? Are you going to be happy? Or are you going to be like, whatever, I told them off, I don't care. I did it for me. Again, It comes back to you, and that is not selfish because you are the only motherfucker. You're the only motherfucker. You're the only one. Ain't no one else in your mind. Even if you're interpreting it as they're going to take it this way, it's still you taking it that way on behalf of them, most likely up the butt and around the fucking corner. Because you're doing it. You're doing all of that. So neutralize before I interact with this individual. Okay, I'm thinking I want to do this. If I do this, do I have an expectation of anything that could potentially come after? Or am I just doing it to bring myself peace in the moment? And I know I am at peace in the moment. After that is done, I move forward. There's no expectation. I can never hear from them again. I can hear from them tomorrow. I can hear from them a year from now. I can hear from them in another lifetime. I don't fucking know. How are you going to feel after? And someone else is going to say, oh, but you say emotions don't matter. Yeah, they don't in terms of what you're manifesting, but they sure as fuck matter. They sure as fuck matter in cases like this because you all have experienced it where you did something or you said something and you later regretted it and you harped on it in your fucking mind, but now you know better not to do that. So yes, your emotions matter because you don't want to fucking feel like shit again, do you? You don't want to be like, well, I could have, I should have, I wouldn't. No, think about it now because the could have, should have, would have, it's already laid out, my dude. It's laid out in your mind. So you pick a scenario. If I do this, how am I feel after? If I do that, how am I feel after? If I ignore this, how am I feel after? How are you going to feel? If there's no expectation, if it brings you calm, if you're just like, okay, yeah, I'm going to feel relieved. You fucking do it. What's going to bring you relief? Because that's what you want. You want relief. You want to be unburdened by the situation, even though there really is no situation for you to be unburdened from. Because there is no situation and there is no burden. It's just what you're perceiving. So I don't know. That's why I don't tell anyone how to interact with someone. I'll be like, well, how are you going to feel after you do it? Are you doing it because it's going to bring you calm? It's going to bring you peace? Are you doing it because you want to manipulate the 3D, because you want a reaction right now? Because I've fucking been there. I'll be putting on circus, sideshow performances in other lives. And I fucking done it. And then after I did it, I said, I mean, all right, I don't know if that was the best idea, but whatever, moving forward. That's it. I fucking done it. Okay? Everything that you all have done, I have fucking been there, done that in that capacity. Maybe not in every capacity you have, but that's what I'm telling you. You have to know what works for you. And what worked for me was saying, okay, before I fucking do anything, Aries, impulse, hello, that's me. I'm boom, boom, boom. Let's get it, let's go. I had to stop and I had to say, whoa, before I do this, what's in it for me? Is it bringing me peace? Do I have an expectation? What do I want out of the situation? And if any of those things was in relation to whoever it was, that was the wrong answer. Wrong answer, bro. Wrong answer. I mean, you like I said, you could do whatever you want. I don't tell motherfuckers what to do in the 3D. I don't tell them what not to do in the 3D. I help you come to a conclusion so you can formulate what's going to be the best for you in the now moment. But only you know what is happening in your fucking awareness. So if your awareness is on, oh, okay, you acted stupid and now you regret it, and then you're going to eat yourself alive with the fucking mental orgy of thoughts and emotions, and then I would suggest don't fucking do that thing that you would perceive that you acted stupid and then you had to regret it for like however long it takes for you. That's it. Even if, oh, I love this one. I fucking love it. Okay. You're, whoever it is, you're in no contact with this motherfucker. Number one, there is no contact because of thought transmission. You're always connected, right? But you're perceiving that you're in no contact. So you feel like reaching out to the person. You feel like reaching out to them. Okay. Should you? I don't know, man. I don't know how you're going to feel if you reach out. Are you reaching out because there's an expectation, I want an answer now? Then maybe you fucking shouldn't, because that's trying to manipulate the 3D. But if you genuinely feel like reaching out, let me just say hi. I don't even care if they respond. I don't even care if I'm blocked. I'm just going to reach out and say hi. I'm going to just do this. How are you going to feel after? Whatever. It is what it is. I don't care. Moving on. Then maybe you can consider doing that. But you have to look at what your intention is behind the thing. And if the intention is regarding you, bringing you peace, calm, and you don't care, you don't have an expectation, then okay, because it's all about you, it's not about them. Oh, I reached out, and then you're going to feel stupid because maybe you didn't get a text back, but you were reaching out because you wanted a text back, and you had that expectation, and then you were trying to manipulate the 3D, but then you did it from a place of fear, and then so you didn't get the text back because you feared if you text them that you wouldn't get the text back, and then you fucking created that. So you have to understand yourself, and how you understand yourself, calm, true neutral, that's what I say. Everything comes back to true neutral. Period. If it's not true neutral, it ain't real, because that's the only realness. And that's, I don't know, man, that's what resonates with me. If you don't jive with that saying, you don't fucking jive with it. So, I don't even know where that came from. I don't know where that came from. I don't even think anyone asked in the chat, but whatever. I just went on a sermon. This is benefiting someone. I know that, because, I wouldn't have been guided to fucking say that if it ain't benefit someone, You saw a video. Oh, nice. I love your bat icon. You did this 2 days ago. Nice. Yo, that's so perfect. I love it. You saw a video saying wavering is just a limiting belief. What are your thoughts on it? That if someone believes that wavering is a limiting belief, okay. But let's think about this. You're wavering anytime you turn your attention to the opposite of that thing happening, or looking at time, or you're thinking against it, right? So if you're not doing that at all, you're not wavering. It's a pure channel. The word wavering is not even going to be in anyone's vocabulary as limiting belief, because they're not there. Just like, what wavering? It's already done. Like, that's not going to be even in their mind to compute that there is a wavering, because it's already done. If someone is in a strong sensation of belief, then they're like, yeah, I know it's already done, and wavering is a limiting belief. Okay, that's it. But they don't know it. Yeah, they're still wavering, because they're like, well, it might happen, it might not. Oh, but wavering is a limiting belief. What are you even saying? Like, you waver if you're thinking against it. So if you're not thinking against it, you're not contradicting it, and you don't care when it arrives, how it arrives, you're in the knowing. So wavering is not even, it's like, I'm not wavering that I'm talking on the TikTok. There's no room for that, right? It's a done deal. So in my opinion, you can say wavering is a limiting belief, but it's just getting too ridiculous now, bro. Because the truth is, if you know it, you're not going to think about wavering. So you're not going to say, wavering is a limiting belief. Oh, wavering is a limiting belief. Why? You know it. So where's the wavering? It's unknown to you, because you have the thing. But if you're in a strong belief, but you don't know, and you're like, well, maybe, is it going to show up today? That's wavering, because now you're looking for it. So you can say wavering is the limiting belief, and then, okay, yeah. And then you're going to perceive that wavering is a limiting belief, but you're still kind of doing it when you take your focus off of something, when you put your focus on something that's contradictory to the thing that you want, even if it's just looking at time. So, someone could say that. I don't know how that's going to work for them. They might see evidence of that, but it's still not going to negate that what you focus on, and then you take your focus off, whether you're saying wavering is a limiting belief or not. If you already knew it, there would be nothing to take your focus off of it. It would be a done deal. The direct opposite on paper could present itself to you in the 3D, and you're like, no, where's wavering? It's just, no, that's not true. That's it. So I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, let's not get too fucking ridiculous now. For me, if someone believes that, okay. But if you knew it, you wouldn't be wavering, because it would be known. It would just, there would be nothing for anyone to even mention wavering as a limiting belief, or for you to say that. Because you are wavering. You're either broadcasting this, or you're broadcasting that. What is that? serving two masters. If okay, let's not even go with this. Let's not even call it wavering, because remember, it's just words, right? I could call my phone a fucking pencil case, and that's what it would be to me, right? But wavering, as they call it, is, do you know it's done? Yes. And then there would be a whole, everything presented to you. Here you go. It's not done. It's not done. The timing is, yeah, it's done. That's it. I'm the Lord and there is none else. What you mean? What you mean it's not done? It's done. And even someone's telling you, okay, it's done, so show me it. I don't need to prove shit to you. It's done. And who the fuck are you? You ain't shit. I'm the Lord and there is none else. You're not even going to care to prove anything. The knowing. The wavering, oh yeah, prove it. Show me where the thing is. Yeah, it's not exactly here yet. And what is that? It's not exactly here yet. Boom, you wavered from the thing. What is that? Oh, but wavering doesn't exist. But my dude, you just fucking did it. So I don't know. I think someone's saying that. I mean, okay, if that's their belief, I don't know how real it would be, because they can think that wavering is not real, but they're still doing it. Because you focus on this or you focus on that. You're aware of this or you're aware of that. There's no like I don't know. I'm getting to the chat now. Woohoo. Neutrality is yes, Martina, exactly. Neutrality is truly knowing it's done, because that's what it is. It just is what it is. If you know something, you know it. Like I said, knowing cannot be taken from you. Exactly. You won't even think of that concept. Hey, Dark Matter. What is up? Thank you for joining. Everything is neutral at its core. Good and bad are just ego assignments. Exactly. Like, that is so true. It's still the perception. You know, the all that is, I just say the all, I mean for me, but call it universe, consciousness, awareness, source, whatever you want to call it. It just is. You know what I mean? It just is. There's no wavering. There's no questions. There's no doubts. You had to join the best coach ever's live. Thank you so much, Dark Matter. Thank you for joining. We can only assign things meaning based on what we were taught reality looks like as well. I mean, but that's where you come in and also teach yourself. So if someone is saying that a pitchfork brings them good luck, but society's like, oh, pitchfork is associated with the devil or whatever. It's like, if you're saying, no, that's not true for me, that's you going with you. You have to know yourself and processing that information as like, if your processes is neutral and you're peaceful and you're calm, that's it. That's your truth. There's no one can take that from you. Corey Marie, the knowing of something, that feeling, it just comes in and is without creating it. I mean, in my personal experience, this might be different for everyone, but I don't know how you can create a knowing. Like, you can declare something as, I know this, and then declare it as done, and then it'll be proven to you, but it's not even a feeling. It's just kind of like, you just know it. It processes different, like, I can't describe it. When you know something, you just know. And I know everyone in the chat has likely had an experience like this, where it's like they just knew something was going to happen. It didn't even process as joy, excitement, fear, anxiety. It didn't process as anything. It was just like, I know. It was calm and it was neutral. So you just, and you know, the feeling of knowing, to me, I expanded on this a little earlier in this live. So if you want to like go into more of the detail when this is posted on YouTube, feel free to do so. But it's like, the knowing is just, it's a peace. I don't know how to describe it better than that. It's just something that you know, and because it's like the God state of alignment, in my opinion, it can't be described by words other than knowing. It's just this is it. Like, that's it. There's nothing. And how to get there. Like I said, if you want to know something, you can simply declare the thing that you want, like such as I know I'm wealthy, right? And then you go in, you declare it. Maybe it feels a certain way when you say it, but you're just like, no, I know it. And then eventually that knowing will have to come to pass in your reality because you're saying that it is known. So you are the operant power. So therefore it has to, tell you that it's known. It has to make itself known to you in your reality, right? Because you know it. But I don't know if it's something that you can necessarily force as natural. Like when you know. I don't know. It sounds super fucking cliche saying that, but it's like when you know, that's it. It's like, oh, okay. And things that you know are not gonna, like I said in my most recent live before this one, with the trumpets and shit, trumpet in the ass, it's not gonna be something loud. It's just gonna be calm and peaceful. That's like the way that you know that you know. But if you want to declare that you know, then you're going to say, I know XYZ ABC, and then you're just going to see what happens in your 3D, and then the knowing will prove itself to you. It's a trippy feeling because it is totally calm when the knowing comes. Yeah, it is. Like, it's nothing that will disturb you. It's nothing that will excite you. It's nothing at all. It's just, it is. That's like the state of the isness. You know what I mean? So it's like... it's indescribable, because how can you describe the God state in like a limited 3D vocabulary? You can't, like for anyone to do that, they have to have the experience. I don't know if you were here, Corey Marie, for like a little earlier in the live. I was getting into that more with like the God experience is indescribable, and like until you have that experience, it's like it's not gonna register, you know what I mean? So when you've had those experiences where it's like totally calm and you're like, okay, this is what it is, like you really can't describe it other than it's like a calm knowing. It's not something that's gonna be taken from you because it's real. And when you're calm and you're at peace, that's the realness. It's not excitement. It's neutrality. Like, okay, cool, I'm content. Because a lot of times, like individuals, like let's say they get their desire, like the topic I touched on a little bit ago, is like when you get your desire and then you're like, ooh, what do I do now? It's like that also too might be like, Emerald, this is your type of live. Love it. So glad you're here. And yeah, your essay is already done perfectly, better than you expect. But the knowing state and the God state is indescribable. Okay, it's real, because things that you get even in your reality, and you can confirm with 3D. Okay, yeah, I've manifested this. I know it's here. Then that's the knowing, right? But then the beliefs can kick in from the egoistic programming. It's like, since previous versions of you were so enmeshed in looking for problems or saying, oh no, like things are calm, things are peaceful, oh shit, like for some individuals, calm and peace and neutrality are so not normal or natural in their realm that when they get it, they're like, wait, what do you mean I'm calm? Like, you mean things always work out perfectly? Wait, you're telling me this motherfucker is in love with me too? You're telling me I'm a multimillionaire right now? Wow. I have perfect health. I have my perfect body. I live my dream life. Wait, you're telling me that this is what's happening? Whoa. Yeah, that's what it is. That's the realness. But then, because you maybe have been operating on a system that was corrupted, because the beliefs that did not serve you were, running rampant with that fucking orgy. Okay, that ethereal realm orgy in your mind. You are maybe tempted to go back to those beliefs, like, oh, it's too good to be true, or nothing good comes easy, or things don't last, or enjoy it while it lasts, whatever. I don't know, man. Do you see? But that's not real, because it's producing a sensation within you. So you even believing that you have the manifestation, you know it's real, you know it's there, because you can see it, touch it, taste it, smell it, whatever the fuck it is right now, okay? But if you don't have that that God awareness, that calm is the ultimate. Calm is the God state. All's well, everything is perfect, always has been, always will be in every fucking timeline, because there is no time, all is now. Then you can maybe be tempted to go back into, okay, it's calm. Wait, what do you mean it's calm? What do you mean all this worked out right? Like I just said. So you have to be mindful also of not thinking that things are too good to be true, and that you can have the things that you want in your 3D experience. You can have them in the flesh just by thinking about them and not lifting a finger. And when that processes, you are God on earth. You've unlocked the magic key. You found the warp motherfucking whistle. Propelled up in consciousness. All is well, everything is perfect. What is this? What is this I judge? Is that perfection? Oh, it's not perfection. And I'm the Lord and there is none else. I accept nothing but perfection. I know that all is available to me, for me, right now, to serve me, to assist and serve me in the most beautiful, magical, positive ways, and everything is super amazing. And obviously your God self is not fucking talking like that. It's just how you're interpreting that narrative and that awareness in your mind of the God self. So that's how you're computing it into a thought, but you're like, what is this rubbish? This is all is well and everything is perfect. What is that? You're not even going to be swayed. You're going to be like, of course I create my reality with my fucking mind. I simply snap my fingers, I make a decision, and boom, it's in front of me. Of course I can manifest shit out thin air. When you become so calm in that, that's a level. That is a level of consciousness that it's like you are unfazed by the 3D and you just sail on through. You sail on through. You're just like, okay. Yep. Now, next. It's like things just keep happening, like that quote unquote flow state. Because you're just being who you are. You're not trying to fight with the 3D. If you see something and from the egoistic vantage point you judge it, you're just going to be like, okay. Yeah, I don't accept that. Moving on. You're not even going to sweat things in that way where you used to. And how you do this, like I said, this is like a, I don't know, step-by-step calibration, fucking celebration, going on vacation, fucking video. Fuck yeah. So, when you step into that and you are able to calm your ego down, you shut off the thoughts, you shut off the emotions, and you're just like, this is what the fuck it is. Okay, I'm the Lord and there is none else. Good job. The more you calm yourself down, right? Why is it calm yourself down? Because calm is the God state. Calm is the ultimate. Calm is awareness, just being. That's it. There's no judgment of anything. You're calm. Okay, cool. This happened. Cool. That happened. Cool. This might happen. Even cooler. No one cares. All's well. Everything is perfect. If you can calm yourself down those moments, it's going to be easy for you to calibrate that. Yes, not only can you have the things that you consciously manifested, but you also are like, well, I can do this. I can do fucking anything. I could manifest anything. Wow. But don't fall back into the old story. You go back into that calmness when you are claiming your power over the 3D and you say exactly what you know, I told you to say, all's well, everything is perfect. These are thoughts and emotions trying to have an orgy. Okay, cool. Who am I? I'm the Lord and there is none else. I'm not participating in this orgy right now. Okay, cool. Yeah, of course. It's safe and natural for me to create things that I want simply by thinking about them and not lifting a finger if I don't want to. All my movement is guided perfectly. Everything flows so easily in my experience. Things always work out for me better than I expected. You're just going to be on there. But how you do it, how you get to that level of living as a God on earth, warp whistle, you fucking keep calming yourself down in those moments. And when you are calm, you're going to see that those thoughts and emotions, you're not even going to take them seriously. You're going to see how fleeting they really are. And you'll be like, oh, that's not even who I am. What the fuck? I was taking that seriously? Okay. I'm the ultimate awareness. I'm all that is. I'm the Lord and there is none the fuck else. It's what I say goes. I'm the operant power, bitch. So the more you're able to calm yourself down, you're just going to start to see like a whoosh, 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 I don't know what the fuck that was, snowball effect in your life, and then you're going to be able to accept and keep your manifestation because it's natural, but you're also going to be able to accept and keep that you created that just by being in your mind, not in your mind, but placing your awareness on certain things, right? You didn't lift a finger. Oh, wow, I can do this. I did that for that. I could do this for fucking anything. I'm the Lord and there's none else, biatch. So, that is what I got for you today, but I don't know how long I have been on here, but I'm getting hungry and I am going to, end this live. This will be on YouTube. Thank you everyone for the likes and the comments and the follows and the shares and the conversations and the gifts. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I know that all of you already have everything that you already fucking want. And this video will be on YouTube at a certain point in linear time. But thank you all for joining. Love you. Talk to you later.